Okay. Good evening, everybody. Hello, Tom. First on the chat. Is that that's a wave? No, it's a bit far away. It's an emoji guy with a waving hand. Hello. Make yourselves known, watchers. We'll see in the comments. We've got a really good show tonight. We've got some really amazing performers. Some who have been to Music and Words many, many times. How do? Some who have never been. One guy is streaming in from the States. Nice connection there. He got in touch with me because he saw Hannah Lovell on one of the streams, who he played with in London, along with some other of my friends. And yeah, he'll be streaming in from there. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, so that's good going. Hello, how are we all doing anyway? Just yeah, that is right. FAIRHAZEL, got it right. Yeah, tell us how you're doing, guys. I'm interested to know all the stuff that's going on in the world at the moment. It's a very interesting time. Hello, Andrew. Good evening. Yeah, so we've got on the show tonight, we've got the amazing Diamond Bavell. He's going to open up for us again. For those of you guys who don't know, Bavell is a spoken word artist, but he's also a he's sound engineers for me down the Music and Words Club when we're in a physical space. So we're trying to get him on the show every week, just so we can sort of have a bit of regularity really to it. We've got the amazing Nick Byrne. He's from High Wycombe Way. Actually, amazing folk singer, guitarist. We got Jk McGeACHIE, going to give us some poetry and spoken word and a bit of a chat as well. She's an amazing woman who often hosts the all-female Music and Words Club, which we have usually about 2 or 3 times a year. And yeah, she's just brilliant. So looking forward to her. We've also got FAIRHAZEL, like I mentioned before, streaming in from the States. I just heard him playing his sound check and he absolutely blew me away. So you're in for a treat there, guys. I think he's just moved over there and believe he's sort of setting up a little life over there. So they're lucky to have him by the sounds of it. We've also got the wonderful Sandtimer, who are a band. I think they're from London based, but in lockdown, obviously they can't play as a band. So we are going to have both Rob and I forgot the other guy's name already. That's really bad of me. But anyway, Rob and his other partner from the band is going to perform for us over the live stream as a duo, one by one, but playing each other's songs. We've also got the amazing Jamaica, who just joined the stream last minute. She is an incredible singer-songwriter from Slough. And she is going to give us some spoken word tonight for the first time. Pete Cox, who is also on the bill, runs another night called The Innerverse, and he gave me the heads up that she performed an amazing piece last night on the Innerverse sort of private group. So I thought, let's invite her down tonight. So we've also got the incredible Matthew One Man. For those of you guys don't know him, he's a loop artist from Egham. Again, just amazing performer. I think everyone here tonight is absolutely incredible. So I'm so grateful to have them all in one space, even if it is a virtual space. So let's read out the comments. So, oh, hello from Mummy. So my mum, she's on every single stream I do. Living up in Nottingham. Obviously, I haven't been able to see her in this period, but maybe there'll be a drive going up there soon to go and see her for the day and come back again. Not because she's got like an outdoor swimming pool or anything like that, but you know, if we get a nice hot day, I'll pop up there and say hello. We've also got oh, hello Eleanor, my lovely girlfriend who's currently at home. She says hello, lovely Matt. Thank you for bringing us together for these nights of performance community. Thank you for your comment. And Pete Cox, hello, beautiful. You're beautiful too, Pete. Yeah, that's right. I've got nothing else to do. No, I just want to see you, Mum. That's all. Right. I think 13 people on the stream at the moment. If you guys got any questions for people, just questions in general, get them up in the comments. Anyone in particular you want to ask a question? Bavel is always an interesting one to ask questions. He'll be doing his normal improvised poetry. But yeah, if you just want to ask people what's going on at the moment with themselves and their lives, ask for advice about how they, sort of maintain their creativity, or even in general with the Black Lives Matter movement at the moment. Obviously, that's something that's all over the news, and it's a cause which I completely support and stand in solidarity with. There was a Windsor protest which happened about a week ago or so. And yeah, it was really beautifully done. And yeah, I said I've sort of stayed off social media because with this stuff, because I don't really like the sort of how hostile people can be. So I much prefer having a real conversation with someone. But here today, it's a space where I think we can communicate and we can talk. And yeah, if you guys got any questions for anybody or any sort of anything about that movement, the protests in general, let's have a conversation. Let's see what we could do. There was also an incredible poetry event on Sunday. If you guys missed it or not, I was actually behind the scenes streaming it. It was for the Empowered group in Slough. They did a sort of a Black Lives Matter poetry special, which was very, very moving as well. Lots of young people sharing their words on that particular cause. So yeah, there we go. In the spirit of the Music and Words Club, I will be performing a track as always. Yeah, social media, don't do it. Get off it. Talk to people in real life. I know it's a bit hard at the moment because we're all sort of in lockdown, but I cannot stand scrolling through these posts and people getting angry at stuff. Or just have a conversation with someone. Things online can get misinterpreted so easily. Okay. This song is an old one. It's off my debut album. And the lyrics don't really mean anything to me particularly at the moment. In general, they're quite old lyrics. But it's more of the message that resonates in the chorus. And the chorus is this on? And it's a question I often ask myself when I'm going through interesting times and things don't seem to be quite normal, so to speak. Like you have to sort of think, is this actually happening? Is Donald Trump in the White House? Is this actually on? Are we watching a dream TV show or something? It doesn't always seem real. So yeah, so this is kind of like inspired by that. Okay. Lonely and tired in your chair, fight the mood and get out of there. Then you'll have more time to spare. As if you don't, then no one will care. Is this on? Is this on? I'm sure you found the one in your days, the one that steals your heart and walks away. Wish you won't have much to say, and inside your smile will fade. Is this on? Is this on? Oh, is this on? Oh, is this on? You ever tried to find, lost your way? The more you search, the more you're led astray. Where you'll find me in that place, oh, drinking blindly without faith. Oh, is this all? Is this all? Thank you, guys. Doesn't get any easier, you know, doing these live streams. Such a weird experience. I can see there's 15 people in there, but you finish a track, there's no claps. Well, apart from on the chats, there's no atmosphere. But I am definitely happy that we can still keep connected this way. I'm just saying it's not an easy thing to do. So all these guys on the performances tonight, please just give them lots and lots of love, because it's a difficult thing to do. At the Music and Words Club, like I said, we would normally be in a physical space on the 2nd and the 4th Thursday. But as it stands, we're in lockdown, and we're trying our best to keep this thing going, because I think it's important to keep music community and words community and everybody together. And yeah, it's so nice to see the same people keep coming back every week, and more joining the stream, which is lovely. So thank you so much for being a part of it, and hopefully we can get back to our physical space very, very soon. I think it's so about time that I pour myself a glass of wine. Does anyone else find they're drinking a lot more at the moment? Not saying that I'm getting smashed every night, but it's definitely a slippery slope. I think before at the when I had it in a physical space, I'd drive to the gig, even though I get free beers behind the bar. I'd go, nope, I'm going to drive. I'm going to enjoy a shandy, and that's all I had. But it's so easy at the moment. Oh, hello, Charlie. Wine. I have to drink wine on these streams. If I drink beer, then I need the toilet, and I can't actually technically leave the stream for at least 2.5 hours, 3 hours at a push. So yeah, wine's a much easier option for this. Cheers, everybody. If you're drinking at the moment, or even if it's a tea, let us know what you're drinking. So got beer, gin and tonic. Yeah, let us know what your tip is. Mark Cordell's on the beer too. Excellent stuff. Right, I'm going to see if I can get Mr. Bevel and for a little chat if he's ready. Cheers, Eleanor. What are you drinking at home? You on the wine too? Right, let's get Bevel up. Diamond Bevel, are you there, mates?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, there you go. Excellent. How are we doing?
Good, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, really well, man. What are you drinking at the moment?
Some Iron Brew.
Iron Brew.
Yep.
Excellent, man. Very nice. I like the glass as well. Funky glass. So, yeah. How's things with you, man? You all good?
Good,
Yeah.
thank you. Good. And yourself?
Yeah, really well. I really enjoyed your performance on the Black Lives Matter stream, which Empowered put on. So it's really, really powerful, dude. So,
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, my brother trying to call me. I'm sure he must know that I'm using words at the moment. Oh, we've also got Pete Cox. I'm just asking what they're drinking, and I thought I'd relay the drinks back to you. Maybe you can turn it into a song or a poem or something, mate. So I know you like
Cool.
doing that, but it's up to you. But so far we've got gin and tonic, we've got Camden Pale Ale, turmeric coffee, and I think there's a few beer and sort of champagne clinking glasses as well. So just a thought. Again, you could do your own thing, but yeah. Do you just tell me a little bit about your week, then, man?
So my week so far, it's kind of flown by this week. Found it more intense than the other weeks, just being like focusing on doing things, like being present when doing it. So just focusing on one thing and then moving on to the next, as opposed to in the past where I might have just done a bit of this, then someone asked for this, then got distracted and went away to that. So finding it a little bit of a different week in comparison to the others.
Okay, man. I mean, that sounds. I've had a lot of conversations with people, and I think that at this stage now, it seems to be quite a common thing that people are sort of starting to lose the focus a little bit, But yeah, hopefully we'll be back to sort of maintaining that soon. But I'm sorry to hear you've been going through that, dude. But yeah, hopefully next week's your week. So
yeah, it's a work in progress, and yeah, it's just going different. So I'm happier now that the week is coming to an end and going into another week. I've been going out for walks more, just taking that time out in the morning before doing anything and just going out, walking, doing some more writing as well.
Excellent, man. Brilliant. Well, do you want to give us some words then, buddy?
I will do. So I'll start off with my introduction and then I'll go into the piece that you referenced earlier.
Yeah, that'd be great, buddy. Yeah, thanks. Cheers. Okay.
My name is Diamond Bevel. I'm the composer of words, the creator of music. My message to the world, if you decide to use it, is that you are not alone. I express this through music, spoken word, and poetry, writing about the world around me that I see. Black blood boils because brutality lanced life like melanin was an abscess. And as our innocent brothers took their last breath, as our innocent brothers' last breaths were taken from them by those who were sworn to protect, a part of me fears what's next. A part of me fears what's next. So that was the piece that I wrote. I was like working on a kind of alphabet poem. We're just working on the B for black, the L for lives, and the M for matters.
Okay.
So that's what I came up with there.
That's what really stood out, man. It's really powerful. So
thank you.
Great, man. Have you got another piece for us? Or
there is another piece, so let's see where we go. And I'll write this piece on the spot. Just see what comes out.
Okay. Do you want me to
we look?
Sorry, man. Do you want me to gather some words while you're doing that? Because they obviously take a bit of time to come.
That'd be helpful.
Yeah. So
thank you.
I'll let you ask for the words, Bevel, if you like. So.
Okay. So whilst I'm doing this piece here, just type into the chat box some words that you'd like me to include in the next piece that I do.
Cool. I think
this piece goes like this.
Yeah.
As we look deep inside, keep looking deeper to where the blood and the boils continue on this journey of life where you learn more about me, maybe learning about others along the way, especially when we see as sun comes up and goes down and then a day continues. As we look inside to where that part of us that hides, that part that we sometimes seem atoms colliding to form molecules because we see that there's only residual memories left. And as we sip our drinks and maybe think about what life would be like if we compared it to the lifespan of this universe, maybe it's just a blink, a flutter of an eyelash. But to think, how many times do we get caught up on things that don't really matter? Making a mountain out of an anthill, but we see that there's just some things that continue to shatter. Shatter those parts of us that we built up thinking that we were ever so strong. With or without us, life continues on. Maybe you take a moment to write in your journal and say, how do I want to be on this very day? Let this be your food for thought.
Excellent stuff, man. That's a really nice piece, man. I don't think I've heard that one before. Is that a new one?
That's a piece that I just wrote then.
Oh, you just read it then? Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. All right, so we got loads of words up here, Babel. Pete's trying to throw me off with one which I cannot read. I'm going to try it. Anthropomorphism. Anyway, I think just ignore that one. He's just having a laugh. We got peace, searching, upheaval, space, syrup. Got breathe. And another word I can't say. Guys, you got to stop doing this to me. Last week, the Beetroots guys were putting loads of slang up, and I was having to read that out, and they thought it was absolutely hilarious. So, yeah, please give us some words I can actually say. I didn't do very well in English at school. But anyway, did you get most of them, Pavel?
Can you repeat them, please?
Yeah. I'll repeat the ones I could say. How's that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Peace, searching, upheaval, space, syrup, breathe, and another one I can't say. I'm going to try and say it. Aestivation, I think that is. So it's a summer version of hibernation, apparently. So there we go.
Okay.
Thanks.
As the summertime turns to peace of mind, maybe not, because especially whilst we read these words on screens that we don't have any idea to pronounce. And as we enunciate or attempt to say the things that we would like to see as we continue along this day, this journey of where we are like a knight in shining armor, where we continue to grow and continue to use our weapons. Maybe we throw them down so that we can uproot evil. Seeing what life would be like if we just looked down as if we were a seagull. Or was it an eagle that flew even higher in the sky? Especially whilst we look to find out why, we take a pause to continue to check to see what words are left.
Oh, got Your Mind is up there now. Coaching, life, and I can't remember which words you got in there now. We got breathe, searching, upheaval, space, syrup, and breathe. And I'm not going to read the other ones out again, but
as we look to breathe in this place that we search in, because there is no more room in that inn, because of all of the isolation that we continue to see or continues to talk about, because we would rather be held in isolation to realize that we were truly isolated. Now we can see what life is like, especially when we are relating over screens, because there is more to life than it seems. And as we hear those screams shouting louder, do we pay more attention? Or do we turn down the sounds of the world around whilst we listen to the sounds of our own thoughts? Can you buy them, or was it brought? So let's take a pause and see what words we have left.
we've got some new ones, man. Life, did you get that one in there?
Life.
I'm just going to read out the whole list again. Peace, searching, upheaval, space, syrup, breathe. aestivation and your mind and coaching.
As your mind searches for the syrup of aestivation, maybe I need to return to the dictionary so that I can see if I've used that word in the right reservation. Or maybe we can see, as we search for space, to set ourselves free from those things that allow us to embrace the parts of us that maybe make us feel sweet like chocolate. The parts of us that maybe make us feel that we have got this, you know? As we continue to grow and we approach the time, we can see what life is like, especially when we redefine the parts of us that allow us to sharpen our gifts. As we search for props, and maybe we see that if we had just put ourselves out there, maybe we could uplift and take that upheaval out, because they would like to see what life would be truly about if we had to alleviate doubt, using a hypodermic needle to pull it out like a syringe, instead of wondering what life would be like if we continued to binge on YouTube, Netflix, and any other sort, because we would like to see what life would be like if we just stayed in our fantasy of our resorts. But life is worth living, and a gift is given. So if we continue to live in this space, then maybe we could take a moment out and those thoughts erase from our peace of mind. Because I've given you a peace of mind, maybe you'll see those words that I have left behind will allow the seeds to grow. And we can do this, especially whilst we see we always reap what we sow. Let that be your food for thought.
Excellent stuff, man. You are seriously getting better every time at this improvised poetry, dude. Seriously, always very impressed, man. So thank you so much, Byrne. Have you got anything else you want to say? Any thoughts you got going on at the moment? Anything you want to mention in particular about your school and things you do there, or just anything that's on your mind? So
just a case of watching this space here, and we're just going through lots of changes right now. And it's important to make sure that you speak to people, you keep your communications open. And I understand it can sometimes be difficult to say it to the people who you're around the most, but even if you just write it down, that helps.
Yeah, that's very, very good, wise words there, man. So yeah, keep the conversation going. Definitely, for sure. Have you had any difficult conversations recently at all that you've yourself, or?
Not so much with other people, but more difficult conversations with myself, and that's triggered me to start writing again. So
okay,
I'm happy about it.
Excellent stuff, man. Brilliant. Well, I hope that your next week is onwards and upwards, and you have a better week. And yeah, I always appreciate having you on the stream and in real life with the sound stuff, man. And just very grateful for everything you do for us, man, and your support and your words, man. So you'd definitely be missed if you weren't doing it, for sure, man. So thank you so much, Byrne.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you on YouTube.
Yeah, see you later, man. Take care. Okay.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Okay, that was Diamond Byrne, everyone. Like I said, he's always been supporting us right away from our first session, which was over 2 years ago now, and he would show up every week, supporting us with sound engineering skills and sort of performing just amazing poetry every time. So yeah, and there's been a few sessions in the physical space where I've had to sort of do it all by myself, and I really, really miss having Byrne around. You know, he's such a good guy. So yeah, so thanks everybody for joining. So we were quite lucky to get a little bit of funding through the studios that I'm renting, and so the Arts Council are now sort of helping support this a little bit, which is really, really nice. Which means I'm able to top up the artist fees a little bit more as well, which is always our featured act. So normally we would have our featured act in the physical space, and we'd give him the sort of majority of the door money that comes in, but in sort of in the sort of virtual world, it's not obviously as much because we don't have people coming through the door and putting fivers in the tin. So yeah, luckily now we're able to top up that to a sort of back to sort of the going rate of what we paid before. So it's really, really grateful for Fiery Things and the Arts Council for supporting it, really. So normally around this sort of time we have the clap for the NHS and the carers, but I think Jen rightly pointed out to me earlier on that that's kind of like that's kind of stopped now. But I still want to just give a shout out to everything that everybody does for the community, for all the sort of talented sort of workers, from people in care, to the doctors, nurses, to the people who kept our shops open in this period of time, risking their lives on the shop counters, and delivery men, postmen, and yeah, just everybody, the binman who's has been a part of everything. And yeah, so just want to say it, really. I don't think we should stop realizing the sacrifice that they've made for everybody. And yeah, I'm gonna bring up Mr. Nick Byrne. First of all, I'm just going to change the aspect ratio on this other computer because it's a bit dodgy at the moment. And sorry, Bavel's face was a little bit wider than normal, not because he's been eating more, but because my computer screen is skewed. So I'm going to sort that out before I bring in Nick. Bear me a second, guys. It's always a difficult thing, kind of trying to manage your own tech as well as host at the same time. It's a bit like when you're performing on stage and you have to tune your guitar at the same time as chatting to the audience. It's quite a difficult thing to do, and it always impresses me when people are able to tell jokes and do that skill and tune up in between things and not make people bored. Now I've got that wonderful. I'm going to show you what I'm dealing with right now. This little spinning wheel. Very frustrating. That's Apple have literally made that symbol. I just cringe at every time I see it. There's a really good song by Ginger Wildheart who sings about the I think he calls it the spinning fucking rainbow or something, and that's exactly what we got right now. So it's delaying everything up. Okay, I think I've still got the Zoom meeting's still running. It's just my settings are being a little bit annoying. Okay, let's have some faith in Apple. Okay, we got it back up. Just got to change our aspect ratio on the screen to let's get it down. Let's try that one. No, that's not much better. We'll get there. Revert. These are things you should do way before, obviously, inviting people onto the chat, but still, it's part of the fun. Okay, let's try one more. That looks about right. Yeah, I think we're good. We're going with it. Okay. So, our next performer, Mr. Nick Byrne. He's been at the Music and Words Club about twice before in the physical space. You know what? I'll give up on this. It's just decided to revert back to that other sort of screen. So let's do that one more time. We're gonna get there, guys. We're gonna get there. For now, if any of you guys got any questions, please post them up. I would love to hear what you guys have got going on. Right, let's try that one more time. Okay. We're going to keep on this aspect ratio. We're going to confirm it. Great. We're done. And we're going to do Zoom. Get Zoom back. We're going to let in Nick. And let's see if he's there.
Hi there. How you doing?
Hey, Nick.
Cool. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh.
Great. Can you see me?
No, we can't see you. So I've just been doing this sort of like the dreaded, let's play around with the settings while, we're live on air. And yeah, it's sort of not really worked to my favor, to be fair. We're not going to panic about it, though. We're going to get there. And it's going to be great. But I just might need to just do a little bit of a reset on what I just did. And you might look a little bit wider than normal, Nick, but I've explained to the audience that might be the case. Let's just go back in. Hold on a sec, bud. I'll just deal with this, and then we'll get you on there.
Cool.
All right. How's things, man? Anyway, people can hear you, but they can't see you, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah?
That's probably the best. Yeah. No. Doing all right. Yeah. Obviously, the last few weeks have been pretty crazy and emotional.
Yeah.
So that's still obviously weighing heavily. But apart from that, yeah, I'm one of the ones that's been furloughed. So I've been trying to keep busy, be productive, those sort of things.
Okay, mate.
But, there's so many people that have it worse. You can't complain. You're lucky.
I agree, man. I think, I mean, everybody's got any sort of positivity they can bring out of this current situation is a good thing. Whether you're grateful for being furloughed or you're just grateful you got a roof over your head and you can pay the rent. I think that's
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, we've been lucky enough to do a few live streams and stuff. So that's been quite new and interesting and fun for me.
Well, I'll tell you what the issue is, man. I've got going on right now. I'm dealing with like a 10-year-old laptop, which I'm very grateful for. Again, I'm going to do the positives here. But currently we can't see you. So, but I'm going to keep playing around. I think people on viewing in find this quite funny. So I don't mind really being the comedian for a bit, but I want to just make sure we can see you before you start playing, because you've done such an effort to get this up really. So,
Shall I rejoin or something?
No, it's not you, man. It's me, totally me.
Heard that one before.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm just gonna do this. All right. Now we're gonna go back to my settings. It was working absolutely perfectly before I went live, and that's always the way, isn't it? So
don't worry, this is not the first live stream that's had some technical issues that I've been doing.
And now I'm going back onto it. It's saying my I can't get on my system preferences, which is very frustrating because that's going to muck up the whole show. I might need to potentially, if this doesn't work, I might need to shut down the computer and then start up again.
And I'm planning to think people.
I'm actually very lucky. This is like my maybe 5th live stream, and I've had nothing go drastically wrong like this yet. So yeah, I do feel quite lucky considering all the tech that's going on here. I'm gonna wait 2 seconds, give some faith into the spinning wheel, and hopefully it will rectify whatever's going on. We've managed to maintain our audience though. We've got 21 people still watching in. Yeah, Jen says turn it off and turn it on again. I completely agree. I think that's gonna have to be the case.
Yeah, I really like your setup, by the way. That's another positive.
Oh, thanks, man. It's great when it works, but
video is coming through nice and crisp, and it looks great.
Okay, I'm going to do the dreaded turn off and turn on again. So Nick, you stay on the stream. I'm hoping that the it won't actually end the meeting. I don't think it will. If I just
I'll be on the meeting.
Stay right there, dude, and I'll be right back.
Okay. See you in a bit.
Okay. In fact, I'm going to assign you as the host. I don't know if anyone knows about Zoom, but I think you need a host. So you're going to be the host for now. But I'll be able to take hopefully the reins back when we come back. We'll see.
Okay,
We'll see. Right. Wish me luck, man. I'll be back soon. Okay. Shut down. So, guys, now's probably a good time if you want to go grab yourself a cup of tea. I think that's or another drink. You know, if you're on the wine or whatever you're doing. Oh, it almost behaved itself. Wine time, definitely wine time, Jen. Okay, we might be in luck. We might be in luck.
Okay.
I managed to get these settings up on there without shutting the laptop down. So I'm just going to plug this back in.
Okay.
And let's hope for the best. Okay, let's try this setting out and see if it's appeared in here. Okay, built-in display. Optimize for built-in display. Okay, I think we're back on, guys. I've never been so happier. Well, I've actually, that's a lie. I've been really happy in many other situations, but I'm actually right now at this moment, I'm pretty happy. So I think we've got it down. Just have to get you back up. Let's get your video. Go back to full screen, and you guys should all be able to see Nick any minute now. There we go. There's Nick.
Oh.
Cool. So yeah, we're back on, man. Right, I'm gonna. Have you got some sort of effect on your Zoom? Or oh no, that's fine now. It's all back. Yeah, it's just my computer's taking a little bit of time to catch up.
A bit fuzzy on my screen. It's a bit strange, but yeah,
Well, that's cool. It's quite arty, man. So we're just gonna roll with it, man. So yeah, just yeah, carry on with your set right now, bud. I'm gonna stop talking, and yeah. So this is Nick Byrne, everybody. Please put your hands together for Nick Byrne.
Thanks for joining the stream. I've been lucky enough to come down to Music and Words Club a few times. I think twice now, and it's been fantastic both times. And yeah, the last gig I played before lockdown was Music and Words in Windsor. So yeah, I think I've had quite a few live streams since then. So it feels like, I don't know, I'm at the end of a tour or something, some sort of internet tour. But yeah, anyway, I actually released this song that I'm going to play called Houses at I think just before lockdown, end of March, and yeah, I've been chuffed with the response. If anyone hasn't heard it, just Nick Byrne, that's BYRNE. You should be able to find it on all the streaming services, Spotify. That's if you like it. So wait till it, decide. I'm just going to play it now. Hey, old man, where did your father go? Did he grow old in his time? Or did he just go? He was baptized by fire, now he's just waiting for the snow. Hanging on to what he's got, trying to take it slow. I know you have time now. I've been seeing on rise, waiting for the sun to come on. There was lights in those houses now, they're bodied out. I want to retreat for a family, now they're just crumbling down to go. The voices linger as I wander through the street. If these words could listen, what stories would they keep? What is life if you don't continue to grow? Self-medication to build your comfort zone. I know you have time, don't you pass it on. Balancing on wires, waiting for the sun to come on. There was lights in all those houses now, they boarded up. And one retreat for the family, now they're just crumbling down. I can't make it on my own. Soon enough we'll core the pieces and make us whole. I once won't be once we've grown. Soon enough we'll call this house a home. All this feels like home, feels like home, feels like home. Whoa, feels like home, feels like home. All this feels like home, feels like home, feels like home. Whoa, feels like home, feels like home.
Well, hey, that is always such a beautiful track, man. I remember that when you released that on the single, yeah, just such a beautiful song. You got quite a bit of plays from that one, didn't you? I think from what I remember seeing, you had a few playlists and stuff on it. So
yeah, it's got a few thousand. Like I think overall it's between 6,000 and 8,000 now.
That's excellent, man.
Throughout Spotify, using SoundCloud. So yeah, it's the most popular track so far.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
It's an ace track, man. Seriously.
Home listening.
Yeah. I think that's definitely one of the soundtracks to sort of that last part of the year before we sort of went into lockdown. So yeah, thanks so much for playing that one, man. I really appreciate it. So, all right, go ahead, man. You got lots of nice comments here. So I mean, he says my internet's not great, but somehow Nick's beautiful sounds translate. So, and Sandtimer, our featured actor, just cracked open a beer. So. Victoria says smashing it Byrne, so there we go, mate, and lots of hand claps and stuff like that, so keep going, dude, keep going.
I'll have a look at those comments later.
Yeah,
thanks a lot, guys. So let's see, the next one I'm just going to play is it's a fairly new one. I think I wrote it about a year ago, but I haven't really been playing it live too much. I think it's called Mania. You're a blur, you're a shadow, I can't find you now. You only exist in a dream, kissed memories somehow. I retrieve the colors and try and draw you in. I've only my manners to know you right up to the window pane. there's an echo, our footsteps are all retreating now. Making your fictitious promises beyond the clouds. Searching for saccharin mystery. I'm holding my mind to you all to window
Beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. I was hearing some like some Jeff Buckley-esque falsetto tones in that track, man. That was it's absolutely gorgeous. So
Thank you. I need to play live more. And, you know, it's a bit weird when you're well. This is a little studio.
I know it's tricky, isn't it? It's as good as it gets. But seriously, that track was just lush, man. Where is that on a record yet, or?
No. So I'm been in the process of putting together a little 3-piece band with 3 of us. So that's one. Been looking forward to play live. We're just we were getting ready to play our first show at the end of lockdown, unfortunately, but no, our second show in a lockdown, but it didn't happen. We managed to play one in December, which was really good fun. We were all a bag of nerves, I think, but
yeah,
it was great.
Well, some semi-exciting news. Since we've got some sort of funding things going on with the studio stuff now, potentially from when we're allowed to open these sort of like non-essential businesses, we're going to start doing some live streams from the studio with artists. So you can get some decent sort of camera and sound stuff going out. And I'll be putting that out to people very soon. So some good opportunities coming up soon. So yeah, I'm actually on a hunt for a bit of an outside venue. Potentially we can do that a bit more, you know, sort of safely, I guess. But yeah, that should be quite fun. But yeah, we appreciate obviously having you on the stream. And have you got another track for us with the acoustic guitar?
Yeah, one more. I normally play an acoustic live, so the electric is a bit of a new thing that I've been doing more of during lockdown.
I think it really suits you, man. It was really lovely, like hearing, especially that last track. It just really suited your voice. So yeah, loved it. So
thank you.
Cool.
Yes, this song is a song. It's written sort of. I was trying to put myself in the perspective of my mum when she emigrated from Chile to England. Sort of. So she's leaving her family and just to, you know, basically to get married to my dad that she met while she was over here. So it's not necessarily her viewpoint, but it's that sort of feeling when you're sort of traveling and there's something new and you're leaving, you know, memories and things behind. So yeah, it's my shot at a bit of a Latin sort of feel to the guitar. So I hope you guys like it. My heart's dried earth, lungs serene, my feelings good, tied to my chest, but I can't change, can't stand the pain. Promise her I thread it best. Take my hand, I'll run to an ocean across the world times. Gentle heart that heals my soul. I will promise to love you. I didn't think that I'd be this long. Separated by this ocean drift.
Oh, I seem to have lost audio on Nick for some reason. Let's hope we can get him back. Okay. Nick, can you hear me, mate? We seem to have lost audio. God, it's just not our night tonight, is it? You know what? Rather than you seeing Nick playing and not hearing any sounds, I'm going to... I'm going to chat for a bit, and then if we start hearing him, we'll get him back in. But I think we'll get him to come and do that song again once we fix out what this issue is. I don't think it's from my end, but we shall see. So, all the joys of doing internet streaming. I mean, things like this do happen in a real life venue as well. But yeah, you know what? If I throw Nick out of the group, he might realise his audio's gone. And hopefully he'll come back. Let's try get him back again. We're well on time. Like basically, I put 10 minutes in between each performer just to allow for these wonderful hiccups and things like that to happen. So thanks for sticking with us, guys. All right, let's see if we can get Nick back again. Nick, can you hear me, mate?
Yep.
We lost your audio for some reason, so I thought I'd try and grab your attention by throwing you out the stream. So, but do you want to go for that song again, man? I can hear you again now. So I don't know what happened there. Just disconnected your audio for some unknown reason. So
Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go again. So that was practice, guys. My heart's dried up, it longs for rain. My feelings scared, tied to my chest. Hey, I can't change, can't stand the pain. I promise her I threaded best. Hold my head and I'll love you. An ocean cross the world times. Gentle heart that heals my soul. I will promise to love you. I didn't think that I'd be this long. Separated by this ocean drift. My bones never long to leave. Do I deserve the love I've left behind? That shines across the scenery. Sweet life still so endlessly. Hold my head and I'll love you. An ocean across the world times. Into heart that heals my soul. I will promise to love you. I Didn't think that I'd be this long. Put by this ocean drift. My bones never belong to me. You are the soul to love I've left behind. Oh, oh, I've been wondering when I'll come back home. But it's getting so hard to leave each time I my memories have been borne away with the dust and I've home. Life has changed beyond compare with the place that was my home.
Woohoo! That was excellent stuff, man. Really, really beautiful. I remember that one. You played that at the Music and Words Club, haven't you? So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, no, absolutely lovely song. You've got Victoria says you're one versatile dude, Nick. So, and Mark Caldwell says lovely song. So yeah, wonderful voice, dude.
Oh, lovely. Thanks,
From
guys.
Steph. Yeah, yeah. I mean, thanks so much for joining us, man. I said hopefully we can get back to the physical space soon and potentially do some actual proper live streaming. You know, with sort of, rather than it being in your house, I guess. But yeah, thanks so much for joining us, man. Have you got anything you want to say, or anyone you want to shout out to, or anything you want to promote? Please use the platform, dude. So
no, I mean, it's just important to take care of everyone around you. Black lives matter, friends matter, love matters. Take it.
wise words, man. Completely agree. Thank you so much, Nick. You take care of yourself, mate, and we'll catch up soon. Okay.
Cheers.
Okay, that was Nick Byrne, everybody. Just going to shove him back in the waiting room. Not that right. And yeah, brilliant. Do check out his stuff. Support his wonderful music. And I'm going to just see if Jen is ready to come into the stream. We're going to have a little bit of a chat, I think. So Jen, are you there?
Hi.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Darling, how are you?
Yeah, really, really, really well. I love your bookcase. So
this is what I usually call the Zoom corner of doom, but I won't call it that today.
It looks great. Looks like you're about to read us a story or something. So
well, I am. I think I will. I think I will.
How have you been?
Lovely to see you.
Yeah, it's been nice to see you too. I've been trying to get you on one of these for a little while, so I'm glad you finally agreed to come and jump on this stream.
No.
So
it's not a thing I enjoy, being able to see my own face while talking about my face.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I don't enjoy these streams, but I just think they're necessary. So I'm just having to just pluck up and go, yeah, cool, I'm doing it. So but yeah, appreciate you joining tonight, mate. Really do. Really appreciate it. So
pleasure.
Yeah, so tell me a bit what you've been up to.
Your sound is a bit laggy, so I'm hoping I'm not cutting over you in any way. Or
No, you're fine. You're fine. So,
what I've been up to, not homeschooling this week. That has completely fallen off the cliff. We've not done much of that this week, but a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
A lot of writing. I think everyone's feeling, for very different reasons, a lot of emotion at the moment.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm just sort of trying to sit with it, really, and not try to overanalyze it, which is what I'm very good at doing.
Yes. I think I'm with you. It's
yeah, it's tough. I'm not very good at it yet, but I'm practicing. I'm trying.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I take it you've been out to some of the protests as well. Were you at the Windsor one or not?
Mm-hmm.
You were, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did see a couple of faces I recognised, but I only sort of nipped in, and I was there for the silence bit where we bent the knee and all that. But I didn't do the actual walk bit. So, but I know Eleanor stayed with that one. But it was
I saw Eleanor just towards the very end, and I think it was a brilliant protest, organised very quickly and very respectful. For the Crown Estate, I think, to give permission for a protest to be on the long walk. I don't remember a time that they've done that. And protesters have been asking for that for years. So I think it was a really good move.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I think probably the last thing I remember there was being a public event there, apart from the wedding, was probably the Free Festival, which I was never around for. But you know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but yeah. Yeah, it was really powerful and very moving, especially with the backdrop of Windsor Castle in the background, right? So
yeah, difficult with the backdrop of Windsor Castle in the background and the household cavalry practicing whatever they were playing with the band. But it's probably one of those times I need to unpack and work out why the feels are there, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So, and did you want me to bring Pete in now, or is this something that you aren't going to do?
I'm unlike me. I've got quite a few pieces, so I need to actually pick which ones to do. So I think I'm going to jump in on Pete's session.
That's cool. That's perfect. Yeah, great. I wasn't sure which way around you wanted to do it, so yeah.
No, that's all right. I'm gonna jump into Pete's world for a bit, which has been very fun.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm really glad.
Yeah, it's been really fun actually. It's a good meeting of minds. I think that one.
Yeah, I think what I found is quite interesting, in particular with some of the online Zoom things I've been doing with, especially the Beetroots guys. I feel like that sort of really brought everyone sort of together closer in some ways.
Yeah.
So it is a bizarre time. So even though we're sort of distant, I feel like some of the connections that are happening are just becoming stronger because we're having to fight over bad internet connections and all these other things to sort of make them work. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I popped my Innoverse cherry yesterday.
In fact, you did you? Brilliant.
Telling Pete that I would be going down to that since it started, and I've never made it. And finally, online last night, I did. So
I'm very happy for you. So
it was a wonderful experience. It was great.
I mean, it's so easy to do from the comfort of your own sofa as well, isn't it? So you know.
Yeah.
I do highly recommend popping in the old Hush alarms when they're back up again, though. Because it's such a beautiful event. So yeah.
I would absolutely be doing that.
Yeah. So yeah, Pete's heckling you on the comments right now.
Is he?
No, he's saying nice stuff.
Anything less.
He's saying nice stuff, honestly. So,
good.
Do you want to give us one of your pieces then, Jen?
Yeah, I don't really know how long have I got, because some of them are quite long. So,
well, I mean, you got like
start small.
Yeah, just go for it. I think like, as long as we're not overrunning, I've allowed 10 minutes either way, sort of other performers. So if it goes on for 20 minutes, fine. You know, it's if it's cool, it's cool. So there's not really any time limit. We're not in a pub where they're going to close the doors at like 11 and kick us all out. But bear in mind, Pete's the last performer, so you know, we don't want to sort of leave him audience this because everyone goes to bed early in lockdown, don't they? So yeah, we
won't do that. But you will come back and talk to me in between the pieces, right? Because I thought of doing these in succession with no.
Of course I will. I will ask you about the pieces, and yeah, I will definitely come back for a chat for sure. So
I'm very needy, feeling very needy today.
Cool. Well, I'm going to turn my camera off for a second. You won't see that, but they will see that. And yeah, I'll let you go for your first piece. So
okay. This one I wrote today. Everyone who knows me knows I'm not necessarily shy of a conflict, but the conflict that I think a lot of us are feeling, particularly as white privileged women, is something that I needed to work through, and writing is how I do that. So this one's called Dear White Friends. White privilege, white guilt, white fragility, they're not concepts that are extraneous to who we are. They are not outside of us, nor are they purely the frame to point the finger at from the comment sections on boxes online. So as a white woman who has made mistakes and who will doubtless make more, I wanted to share with you my guilt by way of opening the door to yours. Because what's happening now isn't just happening because of our ancestors. It's not enough to just apologize for their actions and go on a march. We cannot ask our Black friends and friends of color to explain their oppression by our hands. Our very lives continue to and are embedded in the systemic models of racism, and we continue to benefit from that. So these are the discussions as white people we need to be having openly and honestly. And I've been fighting with myself to do this because I know what's not needed now is another white woman giving her opinion, but I'm full of conflict and writing is my outlet. So 1, I was 9 or 10 when my dad brought back me a particular doll from Barbados with a name that I cannot repeat anymore. It was my favorite for years. It sat on my bookshelf until I was in my early teens, and I got rid of it, not because I understood what it represented, but because I'd grown out of dolls. 2, when studying for my A-levels, I proudly exclaimed to a group of friends that I was colorblind, and I didn't see race, and I saw everyone as the same. I erased identities and culture. 3, at university, I made Black friends and dated Black men, and I asked to touch their hair, talking about how different it was to mine. I petted them like animals in a zoo. 4, throughout university into my early 20s, I listened to 90s hip hop without educating myself at all. I just liked the music. 5, at 22, while working in recruitment, when given the chance, I didn't push loudly enough for a positive discrimination policy to actually be enacted rather than just be a dotted line that everyone had to sign. 6, at 24, the traumatic birth of my daughter gave rise to probably the longest period of white fragility that I have ever been through. I over-identified my story with those from women of color, and I punished my body for being white and alive. I internalized a lot of pain that was not mine to do so. 7, I was 30 years old when in August 2015, I joined masses of other privileged, largely white women in saving refugees, the descendants of colonizers extending their hands of aid and not agency to those in need. We ran events, we did help, we raised a shit ton of money. White guilt can have a productive output, but it perpetuates the very system that we need to dismantle. 8, 2016 to 17 and 18 was a bad time. I'd assumed so many narratives into my own, and I wasn't doing the necessary work to understand my own trauma. 9, in 2017, I began to honestly look at my own shit and what I'd assumed into myself. I put on events that were diverse, that were compared by women, with people telling their own stories. I got really fucked off when that diversity was edited out by the production team, but that is another story. 10, in 2018, the phrase, if it's not intersectional, then it's not feminist, really struck home. 11, in 2019, I found out that Black Lives Matter was co-founded in 2013 by self-defined queer social justice activists, Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, and later Opal Tometi. 12, yesterday, I realized that my daughter has learned about the Aztecs and the Romans and the Victorians and colonial empires pretty much every year, but I have not taught her about Black history enough. I have read her rebel stories for rebel girls without explaining to her the fight it has taken for such a book to exist and the fights within them. 13, today, I need to understand how to write to my Black conservative MP about the peaceful protests in Windsor. He is a man who describes himself as post-racial, and whether that's even a discussion that I have a right to be in. 14, tomorrow, there will be more. And there will be more, and there needs to be more. This story isn't complete, and it will be uncomfortable, and it is shameful, and it's painful to admit the things that you've done to perpetuate the system, and it needs to fucking be. So I want to apologize for the things I have done. I am sorry. To join in a movement like Black Lives Matter as a white person is honorable, but in doing so without understanding its origins is privilege in action. To point the fingers at others before really owning up to your own shit is white denial of privilege. To assume that racists are only racists because of individual and moral flaws and not because those flaws are perpetuated by systemic racism is privilege. So do the work, keep doing the work. You do not have to keep doing it like this. It just needs to be done. And I am not the know-all. My Irish Catholic roots just know shame and guilt very well. It's a vernacular I understand. And to paraphrase Pete Cox, who I've been speaking to a lot this week, who is paraphrasing another writer, Carl Jung, because that's what writers do. We borrow stuff from one another. Know your shadow self because it knows you.
Very, very powerful, Jen. Very powerful. Seems like you've had a lot of thinking. And thank you so much for being like totally honest with all of your things. And I personally think you've been a bit harsh on yourself in some of them, but
no, I think we all really need to own up to things that we have done, and guilt serves no purpose, and shame is sort of selfish. So I think unless we honestly have discussions with one another about the things that we do, as you know, as white people, we're not going to help.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, I'm a white privileged male, right? So that's
the worst.
the worst type. So you know, but no, I agree. There's lots of discussions that we need to have, and I've definitely had my fair share of things that I'm definitely not proud of. And I think also only becoming aware of my privilege probably in the last few years, I guess, you know, has been sort of a bit of an eye opener. But you're right. Like in some ways, we just got to use our privilege to the best we can, and for the right reasons. And just by putting on a diverse event doesn't mean you're doing everything you can do. It's you know, there's lots more things you do. But I do stay away personally from social media because I think that's just a battle you cannot win. So unfortunately,
I have recently, and I'm normally quite an active social media person, but I have pulled away quite a lot the past few weeks because I can see it's easier to point fingers at other people than to do the work yourself. So for me, I had to pull away.
And I've got a hell of a lot more work to do. So, you know, you're definitely far more on a better path than I am. So hats off to you in that respect.
Better paths. We're all on our paths. We all need to be working together.
But yeah. So, cool. Have you got another piece for us? I mean, have you got any more thoughts on that wasn't in the poem, just out of interest? So any sort of good ways that people who maybe are watching and thinking, oh my God, I really don't know how to sort of support this, or I don't know how I can behave in the right way. Like, is there any sort of movements that they can read up on, or
I can post comments to in the comment section afterwards?
That'd be great. Yeah. Or if people want to donate to another cause rather than donating to the stream, is there any links that they can sort of like for organisations that are sort of
There's so many, and I wouldn't want to be the person to say that a cause is the cause that you should donate to because I said so. Yeah. But there's a lot of things that I can post in the comment section to direct people that are talking about this in a way that is understandable and relatable, and all of those things. So yeah,
please do, Jen. Please do.
I have another one which is I already feel a resistance to. It's on the same topic.
Please.
And my other one is a letter to Jk Rowling. So I'm not sure.
I mean, I'd actually like to hear them both. But let's go with the first. While we're on this topic,
go with the first one.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I wrote this a couple of weeks ago. I already feel a resistance to it. I think I was definitely feeling maternal sort of support, I guess, in a way. Doesn't have a title because I'm not very good at writing those. I don't write in the first few pages of a notebook because it's like I'm always waiting for a better beginning to start, because whatever I'm doing isn't quite there yet. These repetitions of art, these palimpsests of ours, it's all been done before, right? So who am I to offer commentary on life and love and death and art? And if you can feel that I'm fighting between these lines, it's because I am. I don't want to pretend that I'm fine with how things are right here and right now. I'm struggling with coherence, I think, and I'll take this moment as an aside to say what I'm about to say is nothing to do with art, save for it's about humans, and that we all have to play a part in working harder and listening more and opening up to conversations we thought we could ignore. So if people will listen to me more because of the color of my skin and because of where I live and how I look to fit in, then I'm ready to bring paper to pen, but I won't rewrite your history or claim it as my own. And I won't say I know how it feels to feel unsafe even in your own home. But I do know that we need to face the truth that we forget we're not blasted across our TVs, that a Black mother is 4 times more likely to die in childbirth, that her son is 2.5 times more likely to be killed by a police officer. 2 lines, these truths, and they have no rhyme, and if they did, I wouldn't know what it would be. How do you fit generations of humans into numbers of people killed before their time? We have to talk about it. How many more lines need to be drawn? How many bodies to fall? I won't write in the beginning of notebooks because we don't have it right yet. How can we say we've begun when enshrining laws to paper can't be heard over a gun, or a knee to the neck can be filmed but not stopped? These cycles of inflicted violence, of powerful uprisings that are stamped out by those we elect to guide us. So if my privilege offers you protection, then it's yours. You can take it. And I'll stand in front of you and protect you from everything that is not ours. So to all of my Black friends and those I'm yet to meet, I won't take my breath for granted. And I will use my privilege to speak.
That was beautiful, Jen. Really beautiful. Seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I will do the same. But they're your words. I've got to write my own words. But seriously, that was very powerful.
Thank you. It's the resistance in it is, I need to work out what that is, but I feel it. I feel it all, but it's it's a difficult thing to.
I think I was resonating a bit on your first one as well about privilege, and I was trying to sort of think about, obviously I'm heavily privileged in the fact that I'm white and I've never been stopped by the police unless I've actually done something a bit naughty, so which I have done and been stopped right.
Imagine you doing anything a bit naughty, Mr. Matt.
No, but I've only had a caution once, but that wasn't as a minor thing. We won't go into that.
Minor
so
transgression.
and yeah, I mean, I'm in a very safe town. Windsor is especially safe. I've got, I can pay my rent. I've got able to do creativity stuff for a living. So I've had the support from my family, which sort of just that emotional support and everything. It's definitely a very privileged position to be in. And I don't also feel like I do enough sometimes, but you're right that sometimes that guilt is not something that we need to put on ourselves, because that's all about us then, isn't it? Right. So we just got to use our voice for what we can. So it's
an important step, but it's one that everyone needs to do for themselves. Is internalizing white guilt gets nowhere. It's not about us. We can be very thankful for the things we have, but using your voice to amplify and make space for voices that need to be heard is what it's about.
Agreed, completely. So I think I mean, I know we're running a little bit behind, but we so want to hear this Jk Rowling one. So can you please Yeah.
So I said this isn't the most lighthearted of sets, but I'm probably not the most lighthearted of poets.
It's fine, because we need it right now. We need a mixture, and these events are for people to express how they're feeling, whether it's darkness, whether it's anger, whether it's pain, love, or whatever it is. There's no rules.
It feels like a safe space. So.
Exactly. So please go for it, Jane.
So I wrote this letter to Jk Rowling today. I have a wonderful group of friends who said I've sort of come off things that are sort of social media related, so I wasn't aware of what she had tweeted. But yeah, we've sort of been talking about it today, and we have slightly differing opinions, but not really. I sort of felt the need to write a letter to her, sort of imploring her and asking her why she tweeted essentially the transphobic comments that she did. But that's me giving you a narrative that I believe. So look at it yourself and then probably come back to this. I shouldn't have done that. So reading a letter aloud to Jk Rowling is just sort of one of those things you don't expect to be doing in your living room. Dear Jk Rowling, you don't know me, and I can honestly say that I only know you, so for the parts of self that you present online. I also must admit that I have never read Harry Potter, although my daughter is just discovering them now for the first time. I get to vicariously live through her utter joy at discovering a world of magic and inclusion, and for that, I'm incredibly thankful. She talks a lot about the characters. Harold, Hammond. See what I did there? I made a joke about the identity of one of your characters, a character who inhabits a fictional world. You have joked about the identity of very real and very vulnerable trans men, women, and gender non-conforming people. People who are having to assert their right to exist in the real world. As a woman, as a mother, and as a writer with power, this is a shameful act of deceit. Yeah, I also understand that Twitter is a responsive and reductive platform that provokes reaction, which is why I was pleased to find out that you penned an open letter explaining your views. And then I read the letter. And I read the letter again, and I tried to explain away so many things, and I talked with friends, and we debated, and we read more, and we talked, and to put this into what is actually what I feel to be a very painful thing to say, given the very real and very painful experiences you have shared. Jk Rowling, you were afraid of straight men. You were afraid of straight men, and you were punishing the trans community for the acts of exploitative, deplorable, and violent men. A community that is actually more likely to suffer at the hands of the very perpetrators you were talking about. And I want to say here that this fear and this hurt is very painful to read, and I will not pretend to imagine how hard it was to experience and then write about. Fear needs to be held and respected, and I appreciate I'm unknown to you, but I would like to do that. What you experienced was not okay and will never be okay. The work you have done to prevent and protect women in similar circumstances is inspiring, and I hope that doesn't stop. But fear isn't rational. It isn't always consciously applied, and it doesn't always speak the truth. In fact, fear rarely speaks the truth. I'm a woman who suffers from complex PTSD from a sexual assault in my teens and the incredibly traumatic birth of my daughter. I almost died. I was pretty much as close as it gets. I carry the pain and fear and anger of it every day. For many years, I feared anyone as a medical professional in green scrubs. I honestly thought they were going to kill me. An overactive hippocampus. It's taken me years to hold this fear in a way that is my own, and it still needs work, but I'm getting there. So why am I talking about my fears? Because they are my own, and quite frankly, I have no right to explain your own fears to you, so I'll continue with mine. They are my own to carry, and the relationship I have with my body as a result of these violent acts has no superiority of the bodies of others. My identification as a woman feels no threat towards those who are differently bodied to me who also identify as women. How I identify as a woman has no right to erase, supersede, or feel superior to those whose identities are different to mine. My fear of the violence that can be inflicted on women's bodies has no right to speak for and so erase the presence of those bodies that are biologically not the same as mine. My fears cannot assume the space inhabited by those seeking safety, protection, and kinship. So what can my fear be used for? It can be used for understanding. It can be used for instigating nuanced, contextual, and progressive debate, something that you yourself say you want in your essay. It can be used for becoming an ally to those who need it most. My fears cannot silence yours, but they can coexist in an uncomfortable scale to create meaningful change. I am aware of this, but it seems that you are not. Your initial tweet ridiculing the meaning of womanhood to so many is surely, as you can see, counterproductive to this. You know, it was the 16th century and probably much before, women who spoke out or who spoke out loud at all, or who were seen without a man by their side, or who were quite frankly just simply existing in a space where a man deemed it unfit was subjected to the scold's bridle. The muzzle intended to mute and ridicule women. Very rarely it was used on men too, and it was used on slaves in Virginia in the 18th century. We have a long and barbaric history of silencing those who speak out of turn or who do not comply with white patriarchal values. And I can imagine that as a woman who speaks her mind, you too have suffered unfair and unjust abuse, threats of violence and silencing, and that is not okay. But you are both holding the bridle and being threatened with it at the same time. But that is a space that many of us hold. We understand the power of our words, of the direction of our fear. We don't take the bridle to silence others so we can continue to speak. We don't become the oppressors of those more vulnerable than ourselves because that is what we have experienced. So I'm not asking for your silence, the opposite. I want to understand what your solution would be. Would women's spaces be segregated from trans-friendly women's spaces? Would a trans woman have to be interviewed about her biological and cultural explanations of womanhood? Would you be on the judging panel? Would you rather all trans and non-gender conforming people were simply put into a space that you didn't have to see? Would you like the spaces to be labeled as other or unknown? Would you prefer not to talk about the ridicule and shame that you have inflicted on women who identify and live as men? Should their bodies be paraded and judged and certified with a stamp that you provide? Do you want to tell the queer community how other members of the queer community are feeling to justify your standpoint? So many questions, and there are so many more, but fluency and order hasn't always been my strong suit, so that brings me to the close. So from an unpublished, unknown female writer to a hugely successful and published female writer, choose your words carefully. And to do as every writer knows, when you want to say something with impact, steal it from another writer. So I'll quote the same writer as you have in your essay. One is not born, but rather becomes a woman. Simone de Beauvoir. How's that for nuance? With respect, Jennifer.
Well done, Jen. You've been writing a hell of a lot, haven't you? So that was very impressive.
Yeah. And there's definitely a lot of feels going on right now.
Yeah. Thanks for thank you so much, for your honesty, and obviously
you're very welcome.
I mean, that's what I always admire about your words, poetry, is you just put everything out on the table. You tell people who you are and what you've been through, and you use it for telling a story to hopefully influence others to tell a better story, right? And for that, I'm very grateful. So
thank you. It's a really lovely thing to say. Thank you.
So again, thanks for everything. Thanks for giving us all an uncomfortable thing to think about, and hopefully start having conversations that are equally just as uncomfortable. So
talk to people, listen to people, talk.
And we need more people like yourself to stand out there and say stuff. So thank you so much, Jen, for joining us.
Very welcome. And don't worry, I'll be back with
I know you will. I know you will. We look forward to seeing you right at the very end. So yeah, you take care, mate. We'll see you in a bit.
Darling.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, that was Jen McGeachie, everybody. Okay, I'm going to not waste too much time, but she was absolutely incredible. And I'm just going to bring in FAIRHAZEL, who's streaming in from the States. So bear me a second. Let's see if we can get him up on the screen.
Hello.
Hey, Hugh.
How's it going?
Yeah, good, man. That's going to get you on a double screen thing. Yeah, really well, man. How are you?
Very good. You're looking extremely HD on the YouTube live stream.
Oh, thanks, man. So, I've got a fancy camera set up in here. So, so you're streaming in from the States. Whereabouts are you at the moment? So,
I'm in the Valley in Los Angeles.
Very nice.
And I've been living here since January.
Wow. So very, very soon you moved out pretty much just before all this COVID-19 stuff happened. So,
right. I had like 2 months of time to explore, and then I've been in the house ever since.
Wow. And how is it over there? Just what's the general sort of feelings with all the stuff that's going on with the Black Lives Matter and everything?
I think there's huge protests going on downtown. I haven't been able to attend just because there's also been a lot going on with the police. The LAPD here are doing like horrible things to the protesters who are being peaceful.
Yeah.
And just with the visa that I'm on and everything, I can't risk being down there and getting into any kind of trouble and losing my opportunity to be here.
Of course.
But I mean, there's like, even down the road here, there's like military vans and military people. And it's a little bit frightening, and there's helicopters going on overhead all day long. But
wow.
Obviously for a great cause.
Yeah.
But it's just like so intense. And especially with everything else going on with the virus, that seems to be old news. Great.
And but you're doing okay in your situation at the moment in lockdown. You're surviving.
Yeah.
So
I'm living with 5 other musicians, and we pulled together all our resources. So I'm lucky to be in the situation I'm in.
Brilliant. I know that you said you do a lot of your own streams out as well. I mean, if you want to plug them or sort of mention, in the comments at the end, if you want, it's entirely up to you about how to find you and all that sort of stuff. So
cool. Yeah, I'll throw some stuff in the comments at the end.
Great. Cool. Well, I won't waste any more of your time. I'll let you get on with playing some songs, because I'm really excited about this set. So please give us a song, man.
Right.
So yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Friend, say you come round here again. Will you bring love in this direction? It's been some time since you and I have been locked eye, but it feels like a couple seconds since I spent my day regretting not saying more when you and I let all those hours slip away under our falling love. I hope that I can be enough when the caller left this town. All the love came pouring out. You don't make friends with plastic strangers. Voodoo magic, music makers. Oh, I think you got a kind of cool way about you. I think you got a groove. Oh, I think you got a kind of cool way about you. I think you got a groove. Oh, I think you got a kind of cool way about you. I think you got a groove. Oh, I think you got a kind of cool way about you. I think you got a groove. Well, if somehow I'm dreaming, then I'll bid you afternoon. And if I won't be seen, you keep my love always with you. 'Cause in the morning I'll be calling on my telephone. And in the morning I'll be calling on my telephone. And in the morning I'll be calling on my telephone. And in the morning I'll be calling on my telephone. And in the morning, 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 I'll be calling. And in the morning, 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 I'll be calling.
Beautiful stuff, man. Really nice track. Really, really lovely track. So,
thank you.
Do you just want to go for another one, man? Because I feel like I don't want to kill your vibe,
All right. This next one is very new. It's called Flower in My Hand. And it goes like this. I'm not saying you're a fool or any less of a man or a simple heartless creature from a heartless foreign land. I'm not saying you're a mess. You let go of the thing that tied you together like water by a string. Ah, ooh. I came home, flower in my hand. I found the door wide open and a space where you'd usually stand. My heart explodes, knowing here and now that the end awaited, with no way of getting out. Saved a little money and I head downstairs. One heart was beating while the other heart was scared. Felt a little funny, like I was walking away from myself as a shell of somebody else who didn't quite know the right things to say. I came home, flower in my hand. I found the door wide open and a space where you usually stand. My heart explodes, knowing here and now that the end awaited, with no way of getting out. Honey, what a crazy thing we've put ourselves in. How about we get away somewhere, honey? A little bit of sugar, a little bit less sour would go a long way. No money, 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 no.
Beautiful, man. You're getting lots of love over here in the UK from our people on the stream. So we've had some.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, really nice comments. Beautiful voice and song. Andrew said not bad from LA, but you're not from the LA. You're from London, right? So
no, from London. Yeah.
So, but you're in the LA at the moment. So brilliant. We got a nice. This is so good. Voice, guitar, lyrics, emotion, and the old thumbs up sign. The okay sign. Yeah. So there we go, man. We're really loving what you're doing. So I think it's funny. Before this all happened, I'd never even dream of doing a live stream. I thought, no, I want to keep it to real event space. You know, we don't need live stream, all this kind of rubbish. But I'm so glad that in some ways that has been forced into doing this sort of technology, because it's connected me with people like yourself who I'd never normally be able to host a gig before with, because you're far away. So
right.
yeah. So
this is the best in terms of the ones I've done. Like this format, usually they just give you like an Instagram login and then you're on your own. But this format of having somebody to speak to and who can clap or whatever at the end, it's nicer than just playing to a screen.
I mean, I've not been on the other end of it, but I've definitely had to do them sort of gigs as well, and they're not that interesting because you sort of like, and you're in a room by yourself for like half an hour, aren't you? Pretty much, and not much back and forward. So I'm glad I'm glad you're enjoying it. So yeah, thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Great. Well, do you want to go for another track?
Yeah, let's do it. This is another new one, and it's a little love letter to music. Hell is only hell if you're in it. From the outside it looks like a hot spring resort in California. It's only a drag if you live it. But me, I'll be fine. Could be all misaligned, but I'd still have music. Oh, half the world could fall. I could nearly lose it all, but I'd be fine knowing, not shy, knowing, be alright, knowing my tunes. I'd be fine knowing, not shy, knowing, be alright, knowing my tune. Love is only love if you feed it. Can't go starving for days, void of anything vaguely satisfactory. Music's only time with a feeling that cannot be replaced, disregarded as waste that is momentary. Oh, half the world could fall. I could nearly lose it all, but I'd be fine knowing, not shy, knowing, be alright, knowing my tune. I'd be fine knowing, not shy, knowing, be alright, knowing my tune. Sweet.
Beautiful, man. That was great. Really, really nice. Have you got anyone you want to sort of like say anything to? Anyone might be watching in from the UK or?
I think my mum and dad are watching from Brighton, so hello to them if they're out there.
Excellent.
And yeah, I think that's it.
Brilliant. Well, I mean that last one's quite short. If you wanted to do another one, you're more than welcome. So
cool. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? This one is called Eddie from 7-Eleven, and it's out on all the stuff. Eddie was a good man, honest and hardworking, never gave love a try. He was a night crawler working at the corner shop just to try and get by. He dreamt of the city, getting out of Mississippi and finding somewhere less like home. But his father, who's a real man, never said he loved him, told him wait till you get older. How will I get out if I am stuck to my seat? How will I get out if you have put your chains on me? Eddie saved every penny, sold the local kids on whiskey for a ticket on the 9:15. Of the months gone undecided, there was something about the timing, growing weary of the small town scene. Eddie took the night bus, leaving nothing but a line reading, "Mother, I am leaving home." He packed his father's Walkman to avoid bad conversation and took him to the great unknown. How will I get out if I am stuck to my seat? How will I get out if you have put your chains on me? Ooh, I'm in the air, I'm off my mind. Come sit in my hands, see eye to eye. Jane was a charmer, a real sweet disaster that somehow caught Eddie's eye. She sat a few seats over, moving to his corner, exchanging nothing but the knowing smile. She said, "We're getting off here," grabbed his hand and held it dear like they'd been lovers since the dawn of time. He tried to explain that he was dying to get away, but he couldn't shake it from his mind. How will I get out if I am stuck to my seat? How will I get out if you have put your love in me? Oh, I'm in the air, I'm off my mind. Come sit in my hands, see eye to eye. Oh, I'm in the air, I'm off my mind. Come sit in my hands, see eye to eye. Sweet.
Wow, that was great, man. Really, really lovely. You got lots of really nice comments on here. Lovely voice, great songs, love it. And Christina says, Hugh, thanks for your songs tonight. You've cheered me up. So there we go.
There we go. Well, worth it then.
Yeah, beautiful stuff, man. Please do post all your links in the comments and all that jazz, because I think people would really want to sort of follow you and check you out. Yeah, it's obviously a shame you're not in the UK, because when this is all over, it'd be really nice to have you at the real club, you know. So
yeah, that would be fantastic. I'll be back soon enough.
I'm sure you will. Yeah, if you're coming back to see your folks or whoever, then yeah, feel free to pop by Windsor and pay us a visit, man. So
awesome.
But yeah,
thank you.
Thanks again, dude. And yeah, shout out to Hannah Lovell for the connection there. So you know,
yes.
But yeah, take care of yourself, man, and yeah, stay safe. That's the buzzword of 2020. But there we go.
It is.
So,
all right.
Take care,
so
man.
Much.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Hugh, everybody. His artist name is FAIRHAZEL. So do check it out. Find him on the socials and look him up on SoundCloud, or not SoundCloud, Spotify and all that stuff, Bandcamp, etc., etc. So our next act is Sandtimer, and they were actually booked way before this stuff went down, and they were due to play as a band in the Hope next door, which would have been absolutely amazing. Of course, they can't have the band on a live stream because of the latency issues. So instead, Simon and Rob have decided to sort of do a duo thing where they'll play some songs, and let's just bring them up onto the chat and let's introduce them to you. So, okay, just switch this view. Okay, we're just connecting, guys. Okay, Simon and
Hello.
Rob. So, how you doing, Simon?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, thanks, Matt. How are you? How
yeah,
you doing?
really well.
Really
And there's
enjoying the
Rob.
show.
Perfect. you guys been enjoying the show so far?
Yeah, I've been downstairs watching it on like a TV, so I've been with my family, kind of just having it in real good resolution. But
brilliant, man.
It's been really good actually.
Just out of interest, how did you guys hear about the Music and Words Club? I completely forgot to ask you because
That's a really good question, actually. I think I was just like looking for gigs kind of in the area. I live in like Godalming, so like just outside of Guildford, and was just looking for some stuff on this side of London, really. And I just found the Music and Words Club, I think, on Facebook, and just thought, it's incredible. It's really, really nice atmosphere, and like the range of artists that you've got, the range of styles as well that you've got.
No, that's great. That's good to know. So we're getting on the map hopefully. So, and when we're back in the physical spaces, obviously we'll get you guys back down again to actually play as a band. How many are normally in the band? Just out of interest, is it?
Normally there are 4 of us actually. So we've got Rachel playing bass and singing backing vocals. And then Alex Jackson as well on percussion, who sort of gives us a bit of beat, keeps us in time and stuff.
Brilliant, man, brilliant. Well, I'll stop chatting for a bit. I'll let you guys sort of do your thing because you're going to take it in turns and doing some songs, right? So I'll get you both up on the screen, and if you guys have got any questions, please post them in the comments, and I'll happily read them out in between the performances as well. So, but yeah, take it away, guys. So, Sandtimer, everybody.
So, I'm going to start us off with a song called 3 Cars, and it's about someone I used to work for who had 3 cars parked in their drive, and they all had his name on with like a 1, a 2, and then a 3 after it. And I just thought, I just don't know why anyone would ever want to do that, but it was just a really interesting kind of sort of thing for me to see. And I wrote a song about it. So this is about fast cars that people like to collect. Three beautiful cars parked side by side in his drive, number plates with his name, and he's running on empty over scene. He's working so hard that when he's home, he cannot really hear what his children say. He can't see his own wife's face. Did he sell his soul so he could buy it back? How can he tell himself that it was like that? Did he see a wholesome empty space and fill it up with cash? Woe on him, I guess, woe on them. Oh yes, oh yes. My sweet Corolla, when it failed and they towed it away, I took a few last photos and watched it fade. It carried me places and kept me alive, and I sighed as he raced down that double summer evening tough drop drive. Not more to life than what we own, but never have I seen such a cliche till I saw how the more he had, the more he seemed alone, alone.
Beautiful song, man. That was really lovely. So
thank you very much.
Yeah. So just out of interest, are you guys both write songs and you play it in the band together? And would you normally sort of like back each other up on the vocals and stuff? How does it normally work? So
exactly that. Yeah, we tend to have 3-part harmonies a lot of the time as well. So we kind of had a bit of a conversation before this, and we're trying to figure out how to play the songs with just, you know, one person and a guitar when normally there's a full band, and we kind of focus a lot on harmonies as well. So
wow.
There was a bit of sort of adapting and thought to be had, but it's quite nice in a way to kind of strip quite a fleshed out song right back to the basics, and you can bring something else out of it, perhaps.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show that, like, you know, beautiful songs when they're stripped back are still beautiful songs, right? So, you know, you can add stuff to it and interpret it. But that was lovely on its own, man. So I really look forward to hearing it as a band. So
much.
You know,
cheers.
Cool. Well, do you want to take it away then, Simon, and give us a track? Or
yeah. So, funnily enough, this is actually another song about cars. I don't know if Rob made the set list, so I don't know if he kind of thought about this in advance that we were going to have another song. This one's called 209, and it's about a type of Peugeot this time, but it's a type of Peugeot that doesn't exist, probably never will do, because I didn't realize this at the time of the song, because all their cars are named by like 208, 207, and I just assumed that there was a 209 because it runs in sequence. But I kept the title anyway, because it now acts as a metaphor for something that didn't happen, and the song is about getting cold feet. So this one's called 209.
Cool.
A day of the most peculiar kind, I never did mind. I'm too far down the line. Oh, my sorrow on the gate, powering out this bad state. Gone back to the county line, caught in a Peugeot 209. His motivation is not yet caught upon. He's a victim of his own crime. I came to the turning down the drive, but never arrived. Turn straight around, cold, feet cold on the ground, footprints could never be found. Gone back to the county line, caught in a Peugeot 209. His motivation is not yet caught upon. He's a victim of his own crime. Of the most peculiar kind, I never did mind. I'm too far down the line.
Excellent stuff, man. That was equally as beautiful. So yeah, brilliant.
I'm flattered.
And amazing. You both had songs about cars. You know, I'm not going to chat too much. I'm just going to let you do your thing. But if anyone's got any questions for these guys, please post them up. I mean, I'll ask you a question. I mean, how have you guys been communicating as a band in this time? Have you been Zooming as everybody else, or have you found ways to practice together? So,
Yeah, we actually did try like this app where you're meant to be able to like jam together online. It's called Jamulus, and I ended up. You have to basically create your own like little session and have a jam on it, and it's meant to like work apparently like in real time, but we couldn't seem to get it to work. But I ended up joining some like random jazz jam session like in like Berlin or something, and I was just like messing around on my ukulele, and I was just like strumming a few chords to like fit in, and then suddenly they all went quiet, and there was just like the bass and drums, and I think they were like letting me do a solo, and I just like panicked and logged off.
Well, I mean, I guess the good thing about being online is you can just log off, and if you're actually in the room and there's a stage and people, you'd have to do it, right? So
Exactly. Yeah. It was terrifying. Just all these random people online just hearing me play like random notes in the ukulele. Yeah, it was quite.
That's definitely the most interesting like online performance story I've heard so far. So yeah, great.
I guess otherwise we've just been like communicating a lot on MSN Messenger. Not Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Going back about 15 years there, but
no, I remember the days of MSN. Don't worry. So yeah.
But yeah, we've been trying to kind of coordinate putting out a new record and work out exactly how to do that in the times that we're in right now. And so we've got a song coming out Thursday, and we're just next Thursday, and we're just kind of planning what to do with that.
Oh, cool. Well, feel free to, like I said, to use the comments and just send links, and yeah, that'd be great. I'm sure people be interested to sort of hear it and follow you guys and stuff. So cool. Well, I'll let you do another song. So
the next song is called "What's on Your Mind," and that's the first thing that you see when you go onto Facebook. It's like a little text box, and you can type in what is on your mind. And this is essentially a song about like social media and perhaps the kind of influence it has in all of our lives. Normally this starts with percussion, but obviously, shout out to Alex Jackson, but he's obviously not here to provide percussion. So I'm going to do my best to play this on solo guitar. I'm going to take my headphones off so I can actually move my hands properly. Right. Dark days, there was never a doubt how this would end. There was never enough just to win. But now I've moved on some way. Look back over all that time again. Is it a waste that time I've spent? 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 But it's already over. It's already gone. Are we just slaves to a system we create? Are we just slaves to a system, I guess I've thought that my whole life. Look back and I wonder if it's just me. Am I the one who isn't free? 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 But it's already over. It's already gone. just slaves to a system we create? Are we just slaves to a system, I guess we just move back and forth between the extremities of thought. Are we the captors or the caught? Are we the captors or the caught? Are we the captors or the caught? Are we the captors or the captors or the caught? But it's already over. It's already gone. It's already over. It's already gone.
Yeah. Beautiful guitar player, man. Oh, you probably can't hear me. I haven't got your headphones on yet, so I'll say it again. Beautiful guitar player, man. So.
Oh, thanks very much.
Yeah,
Cheers. Thank
that's
you.
lovely. So great. I mean, I'll just let you take it away again, Simon, if that's all right. So
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So this is a new song. We haven't released this one yet, and I don't even know. I think it'll probably be next year before we maybe release it. But it's a song that kind of seems to be more relevant now than ever. I mean, I feel like a lot of songs probably do, given all that's happened in the last few months. But it's a song about kind of motivation and get up and go, and that being slightly lacking. And I feel like, you know, being sat at home or being unable to leave your home kind of, it has this effect. It sort of drains a lot out of you. And so this is a song that kind of, I guess, is about that. It's called Sour, but it's a working title. It may change. So. Sour you feel. You're crawling, stalling. You talk like you're tired. Your story bores me now. Don't get up and go. Your roommate loves you, so it keeps you. It seeps into you. Your prison's a lie. The bars have all run dry, but you won't. You look, but you don't touch. Sour you feel. The long pause, but it closes doors. You talk like you're tired. It's alright, though, just another way to say no, yeah. Ooh. Oh.
Ace, man.
And that's it.
That was lovely. Yeah, and I mean, I just can't wait to hear you guys' voices together in a live environment. I mean, I've heard the record, but I could see how well you're both your voices would sort of fit together. So
yeah, sometimes people get mixed up between our voices.
Really, I think they're so uniquely different. So I really do think they're very uniquely different, but I can see how they would complement each other. So
yeah, perhaps that's it. It's a sort of complementing.
But no, I mean,
we're looking forward to doing it kind of in the real physical space.
Well, we'll definitely have you back down the Music and Words Club for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. So
thanks.
Yeah, thanks for that song as well, man. I think you know there's a lot of people feeling that same thing about the motivation stuff. Me, I'm again self-employed, and I've lost a lot of work in this period, and I do have stuff to get on with, but I don't quite have that same drive I had before when you're out and you know I think social spaces are really important, aren't they? So
absolutely.
You know, and without these social spaces, it's a bit of a weird sort of like experience, really. Of like, okay,
it's confusing to sort of manage the same space between leisure and work, and it all happens in one building or one room, and you have to kind of differentiate between when you're relaxing and working, whereas normally it would just be, you know, one thing in one space, I guess. So
agreed. And I think as much as I enjoy like the online stuff, the Zoom bits and bobs, I think like sometimes they can be more like stressful and then relaxing, right? So it's not the same as going to the pub and having a drink with your mates and just letting your hair down. You got all this technology and sort of like glitchy audio and all this kind of weird stuff happening. It's just not really like the nicest way to socialize, but still better than what we've at least we've got this at the moment. You know, we're not back sort of 20 years ago when we had, you know, sort of a meme.
It's like properly broken out. Yeah, if SARS had broken out in like 2003 or whatever, we would have had our like 3310s. Like
exactly. That'd have been absolute nightmare. So, but then maybe we might have got find some more reading and things like that, and less internet. True. So you know, who knows? But great. I mean, I mean, if you guys want to do some more, I'm completely cool. We are sort of running a little bit behind, but that's probably mainly due to my technical things at the beginning. So yeah, please feel free to play some more songs.
Do you want us to do like one more each or something?
That'd be great, yeah, if you could. And then that'd be awesome. So
I'd just like to say also, like, thanks so much, Matt, for having us tonight, and thanks everyone like out there for like listening to us play. This is actually the first time we've done a live stream. So like, I think it's probably the most nervous I've been for like probably 5 years or something.
You guys wouldn't be able to tell. You guys are doing really, really well. Like, I mean, I love the sort of telling us the story behind the tracks as well. That's great. And you both look really confident. You sound great. So thank you for coming down. So
thanks, man.
You got well, at the moment there's 22 households watching. So I always think it's a bit of a confusing number because it's not just people watching their own, people watching with their families and stuff. So it'd be quite a big space normally, you know, to occupy. So I
think Simon's parents are watching in their living room on the TV. So
brilliant. That's
the widescreen HD experience.
Yeah, with probably not the best pixel related sort of video from Zoom to go occupy.
Each pixel is sort of this big on the TV. So.
Cool. I'll take it away, guys. Anyway, so.
The next one I'm going to play. I'm going to play the song called "A Slender Thread," and it's kind of like a mellow song to kind of finish off my half of the set. And obviously, Simon will be playing another song as well. But yeah, thanks again everyone for listening. This one is called "A Slender Thread," and it's about when you get stuck in kind of like a loop of your own thoughts, and you're kind of don't know how to kind of break out of it. Anyway, here it goes. Camera, won't you show me a way to get over it? 'Cause there's not much time to change our minds. In the sunlight, there's a whole other place that I'm drawn to. And I keep on looking out for you. At the weekend, I'll trials are a bit for a little while, but they keep on pressing from both sides, like a vision of a mysterious spirit that lifts the room. A chimera cleaves my soul in two. Chimera, won't you show me a way to get over it? 'Cause there's not much time to change our minds. In the sunlight, there's a whole other place that I'm drawn to, and I keep on looking out for you. And I keep on looking out for you. Thank you.
Lovely, man. Nice mellow way to end your half. So thanks for that. Okay, over to Simon.
Yeah, I'm going to sing a song that Rob wrote, actually. And it's called Time, Why, Explain. And the title's taken from an episode of the podcast This American Life, where there's a story about a guy who's trying to connect with his daughter a bit more, and he feels slightly out of her life in some ways. So he says, write down all the questions that you want to ask me and I'll answer them. And it's kind of like a bonding mechanism, I guess. And one of her questions was, amongst all these other incredibly deep questions about, you know, what is love? What is the universe? One of them was time, why, explain. And so I guess this is Rob's sort of attempt at not necessarily answering that question, but tackling some element of it, because I think it's an unanswerable question, basically. So this is time, why, explain. So. It's a sudden moment when you're swimming out from the beach. You feel the current turning, it's pulling you out of reach. You've been splashing around, looking at all the life, but now you're flailing, borne out on the tide. And it's a cold, cold day when it happens, but there is one long life leading on from this moment. There in the photographs, the people are all smiling. Were they really such good times, or was it just good timing? Sometimes I wonder where the photos are of me. A summer's day in the cool shade of a forest full of conifer trees. And it's a cold, cold day when it happens, but there is one long life leading on from this moment. Stand tall in the moonlight, stagger through the day. There's no glamour in summertime, the fields are just too far away. You may feel like you're on borrowed time, but all they do is steal. You may feel caught in the headlights, but they're asleep at the wheel. And it's a cold, cold day when it happens. But there is one long life leading off from this moment. And it's a cold, cold day when it happens. But there is one long life leading off from this moment.
Yeah. Beautiful stuff, man. I could just imagine Rob playing that song, actually. So after hearing his style. So.
Yeah, normally he plays the rhythm part on the ukulele, so it's a bit of a changer.
Brilliant. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys on the show. And yeah, I've just loved your music, your tunes, and just the stories behind them and everything. I think everybody's equally as impressed, judging by the comments and stuff. So yeah, you got lots of people saying really nice stuff. Yeah, so thanks so much, guys, for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
thanks so much for having us.
No worries.
Yeah, we've had a great time. You've been a great host as well.
Cheers. Thanks very much. And yeah, can't wait to see you in the physical world when this is all over. But yeah,
for sure, definitely. Yeah.
All right. Well, feel free to post links to your music, and especially like your single that you're putting out on Thursday, right? So, yeah, just let everyone know here in the audience. That'd be great. So, okay, guys. Well, take care. We'll see you.
Yeah,
see you
take
soon.
care, man.
Yeah,
All the best. Yeah, see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, that was Sandtimer, everybody. Our next act is the wonderful Jk. So, like I said, Jk is an incredible poet. Singer-songwriter. Often you'll see her busking up and down Slough High Street. But she's been at Music and Words many times, performing her originals. More recently, she joined a band, Kadama. I always say it wrong. I think I said it right tonight, but she might correct me in a minute. So I'm just going to bring her up on the stream, have a little chat. So see if she's ready for us. Jk, you there?
Right, can you hear me?
I can indeed. Yes.
Why is there?
Can't see you yet though. There we go. I see you. Hey.
You did say Kodama right. It was right.
I said it right. Yay, I'm getting there. So it's only taken me about 10 attempts or something like that. But
yeah.
But now it's like sort of locked into my my brain, so I won't say it wrong again. I think it's like riding a bike. Once you get it right, you can never forget, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
So
a lot of people do get it wrong though.
I know they do. So thanks for joining us last minute. I mean, just Pete just said he was blown away with your poetry last night. So just like, well, you got to come and do it tonight. So just tell me how you been doing anyway in general. So
well, the last 2 weeks have been a roller coaster, obviously.
Yes, yeah, of course.
My mental health has deteriorated a lot, purely because of what's gone on in the last 2 weeks. Not just because of the death, but I've encountered a lot of racists who I didn't think from my friendship, well, not friendship group, but like from my friends who would be.
Yeah.
I've had to try and educate people. I've been unfriending people. I even had to explain to someone the basic history of blackface and why whiteface is not a thing and why blackface is.
Sure. Yeah.
And like even like between when this started and like now, I've unfriended about 3 people. They've had 2 weeks to educate themselves and they haven't. So it's never gonna happen.
I'm equally surprised to see how many people that just sort of don't really get the cause and do sort of make it about them. And I can't even imagine what it's like being in your shoes to sort of experience some of that as well. So I'm just almost like a spectator in all this. And but I seriously feel for you guys. And hopefully people will start getting it soon. And But yeah, and this poem, what's this poem about then? So
this poem's about my own experiences as a Black woman in the UK,
Sure.
my racist experiences, and why this movement's so important to me, and just sort of why I go out and protest. Like,
Yeah.
I went to the Windsor protest. There was a protest in Burnham. I'm going to the one in Slough, hopefully on Saturday.
Oh, there's one in Slough Saturday, is there?
Yeah, there is.
Cool.
2
Great.
till 5, Salt Hill Park.
Great. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that last week there was talk about one doing on Sunday, wasn't it? But then it turned into the Empowered thing, wasn't it? So
Yes, it
yeah.
did. Yeah. So it was like an empowered sort of event. But I think on the matter of Black Lives Matter, 1 second, Mum, I'm on a stream. I'm on a stream, Mum. Yeah. No, so it did turn into just like live performance. I did this one, and that was the first time I ever did it. But I did cry at the end, but hopefully I won't cry this time.
Okay. Well, I'll I've got your back. It's all good. So yeah, take it away then if you good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've kind of labeled this one the life of a Black person. I don't really have a name for it, but yeah. So as a baby, was I a threat just because my skin is dark? As a child and a teen, was I a threat when I was just trying to get to school? As an adult, am I a threat when I was just trying to go about my day? If you know me, the answer would be no. At the tender age of 11, I was called a gorilla, an animal with large nostrils like mine, an animal with dark fur, but was that supposed to resemble my skin? Am I an animal just for existing? At the age of 16, the teacher asked me if I was causing trouble. His eyes locked onto mine, but not my white friends. Tell me why I couldn't get that question out of my mind since. I was eating my lunch and minding my own business. If that's causing trouble, I was probably the queen of it. When I started working in a phone shop, white people would ask me where I'm from. I would hear that my voice sounds exotic and that I'm well-spoken. I've been clicked out, I've been avoided so they could be tended to by my white colleagues. And all I could do is sit and smile. When I worked in London, people cross the street, hide their bags and their phones as if I didn't have the same one they owned. Avoiding eye contact and looking at me in disgust, something I had to get used to, but it only got worse. When I was 22, I was walking back to the office after lunch. I crossed the path of a white woman who spat right in front of me in disgust. She called me and my Black Muslim friend disgusting, and I presume it is just for existing. Tell me, how is this fair? Injustice and racism isn't just in America, it is everywhere. If you say all lives matter in response to Black Lives Matter, you're part of the problem, because not everyone's being shot and killed for doing nothing wrong. Tell me how some Black men suit a vague description provided by the police, a Black man with a black hoodie and short hair. Isn't that the description of Black men everywhere? This is why we protest, not because of just one man. We protest the systemic racism and 400 plus years of oppression, because my people were stolen, because my people were treated like criminals. The first thing the news will show you is a criminal record before they show you what they did for the community. I protest because the police are killing innocent people. I protest because of my own experiences. I protest because I want my nieces to have a father to bring them up. If you are unaware of what I have said, please educate yourself. Look at the statistics and understand that no lives will ever matter until Black lives matter, because we are sick and tired of saying, I can't breathe.
Very, very powerful stuff, Jamaica. Thank you for sharing that. Seriously.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I had a conversation with Jen earlier on as well. I'm not sure if you tuned in for that, but she did some really powerful poetry about the sort of movement.
I was there,
so, great, excellent. But yeah, so yeah, thanks so much for sharing that. And I'm hopefully that'll resonate with some of our viewers, and hopefully get people asking difficult questions and doing some sort of like their own research and learning. I've still got a lot of learning to do myself, and all this is inspiring me to sort of do more, really. So but yeah, thank you so much, Jamaica.
Honestly, like I'm like thankful for people that are sorry.
No, carry on. Yep.
I'm just thankful for people that are educating themselves, because I've seen a lot of people that are sharing things without realizing. Like, I had a friend who said that he's sure that there's no racism in the police at the minute, purely on the basis that he's brother is in the police, but I sent him the statistics that in 2011, 3% of the UK population is Black people, but they accounted for 8% of deaths in police custody. Like it doesn't make any sense. The numbers are ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, when I was doing a lot of youth work in Slough, and most of the kids I worked with were obviously in the youth centres were vulnerable young people, and Slough being a very diverse community. I was shocked to find out how many people were actually stopped and searched by police, and most of them were the Black kids. Do you know what I mean? So, and it completely shocked me how many times this happened, and I was like, I mean, I never got stopped when I was a kid, ever, you know, and it's just like, that's not a nice thing to keep experiencing, I can imagine. You know, it's quite horrendous, and that's only just one element of it. So, you know,
yeah.
So
exactly, like the statistics are ridiculous. So
I mean, in the States, definitely the statistics there are not good, but yeah, in the UK we've still got a lot to do and a lot to change. And this whole statue thing, I'm getting. I mean, I see lots of people saying, "Oh, you know, we need to keep these statues for our history and things like that." So if they're in a museum, they're still going to be part of our history, right? So, but they don't need to be staring down in these public spaces, do they? So, like, and I think times change, and we need to change and adapt. Otherwise, you know, I mean, if there was a statue of Hitler in the UK, that would have gone years and years ago. You know, like, I'm just putting it out there. But
or even Jimmy Savile, charity work.
Well, I mean, I saw that with
it's like the same thing
with Rolf Harris. He had an art sort of gallery thing, and as soon as like he was ousted as a paedophile, all his work disappeared like that. I mean, no one kept it. Oh no, it's a nice piece of art. You know, well, he's an artist. That's what he's known for. No, that work went. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't see how this is any different personally.
Exactly.
So, but yeah. So
because I think as well, the fun thing is that I did learn that when slavery was abolished in 1833 in the UK, the slave owners were given reparations for their loss of property, so the slaves. And up until 2015, taxpayers, so you know us, were still paying back their the reparations for the loss of property. So
I read that too, and that's
still alive.
Quite insane, to be fair. So, but please, thanks so much, Jamika. And how can we sort of do more? What can we do? Is there any websites, any causes, how can people on the stream, you know, sort of educate themselves further?
You know, it all starts, you know, with educating yourself and having those difficult conversations, you know, not just being silent. Like if there's someone who's obviously not aware of what's going on, to educate them. And if you see someone being racist, you know, there are a lot of people that are stupid and won't learn from anything. I've had my fair share of arguments over the last 2 weeks with people who have tried to tell me, a Black woman who has experienced racism from the age of 11, that racism isn't a problem here, and they don't have the stats to back it up. So if you do your research and try and give to as many places as you can, if you can, and signing petitions and just speaking about it and educating yourself, that's the best thing you can do.
Well, thank you again, Jamika. You've been amazing. So, and I can't wait to have you back on playing your guitar as well. So, you know, I'll be getting in contact very, very soon. So, I'm gonna say goodbye for now. But yeah, cheers for joining us last minute.
Well, thank you.
And take care. Okay. Right.
You too.
Okay, I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room. And it's now time to invite up Matthew One Man. Okay, that was the amazing Jamika. Like I said, often you hear her playing a guitar. And she has some absolutely incredible songs, well worth listening to. I think me and Pete both encouraged her over the years to really sort of play the original stuff because, she always says they're depressing, but they're not. They're just beautiful. Okay, so we're now going to invite Mr. One Man. Let's see if he's ready. We are running a minor bit late, but that's not a problem. Matthew One Man has just done my artwork for my latest EP, and it's great. And I'm sure he's eager to show you all. But I've asked him to keep stum for a little bit until we've got a plan for that. thanks everyone for sticking with us. Thanks for all your lovely comments. We're just connecting to Mr. One Man now.
I thought you'd be a little bit longer.
Oh, hello, man. I can't see you just yet.
Hey, man, how are you?
Yeah, good.
You can't see me.
No, I can hear you.
Oh,
But I
right.
can't see you.
Right. Start video.
There we are.
Right, you can see me. And where's this original audio thing? Or am I good?
If you were to go, I haven't got time to talk through this now.
I've done most of the.
I'm joking, man.
I've done most of the tweaking. Cool.
There should be a little button in the top left-hand corner saying "Turn on original sounds." Have you got that?
Info. I haven't got that.
Okay. So in a nutshell, if you go to the audio settings, and
I've done the audio setting stuff.
Click on advanced.
Yeah, I've done that.
And you enable that little box that said turn on original sounds.
Turn on original.
There's a little like checkbox on the advanced section.
What's it doing?
Can you see it?
Contacts, meetings.
So go to audio and then click
settings.
on the settings, audio advanced.
Yeah, I'm going through my system. Advanced.
Just on the
cool.
Zoom.
Okay,
Zoom
yeah,
bit.
disabled.
Yeah, there's a little like
Audio.
checkbox thing that says enable original sound and meeting options or something. Is it?
Right. Yeah. Cool. That was the only bit I couldn't figure out how to do.
Yeah, click that box and then
outside of this. Okay, cool. So turn on original sound.
Yeah.
Scarlet US.
Yeah, click that box and then go back to the chat window.
I'm good now.
Wait, you're not good. Go back to chat window.
Cool, yeah.
And then in the top left-hand corner, there'll be a button saying turn on original sound. Click that, and then you'll be done. Can you see it now?
Yeah, turn on original sound.
Yeah, turn on. If it's on, it will say turn. If it's on, it will say turn off original sound. If that makes sense.
Right. Okay, so now it says turn off.
Yeah. You're good. You're good to go. Great. That was much easier than my current, my first performance with Nick. So, in terms of like my technical things, was awful. Anyway, Matthew, how have you been?
You did a good job, man. I've been good, man. How have you been?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Despite everything going on, it's been all right. So,
There's a lot going on.
It's good to see you in your shed again.
Also, just had a battery die.
Oh God, it's all right.
It is. Hopefully, it's going to be. I hope the sound's good. One of my friends from Brighton's got a really good little setup. He streamed me a little gig through his loop station on Messenger, and it sounded just as good as a Facebook stream. So I think everything's advanced a little bit since the last one.
I think people are up in their game and they're learning. I think it's a slow process, but by the time we're out of all this, we'll all be amazing at streaming and connecting through internet stuff and all that. So,
and then no use for it anymore.
Oh no, it's going to keep going, man. I'm determined to keep the streaming going now. Yeah, I mean, I can only see the benefits from doing this through, people like Richard Tyner and stuff like that, who might not be able to come out of this lockdown soon. Oh, hang on a minute. I've lost you a little bit, Matt. I think we're back on though. Okay. So I lost you momentarily, but I think we're back on. Yeah.
Cool. It's saying your bandwidth is low.
I'm better now. I'm better. So I think we're good. Yeah.
Well, I hope. Oh, sorry. I've recently got a new pair of headphones and they're driving me a little bit crazy. So the signal's going a little bit and then they keep coming out. And also, this microphone is isn't amazing. It's a bit loose at the end. Right. So yeah, I'll begin, shall I?
Yeah, please do. Please do. Go for it.
Okay, cool.
You doing all right, Matt?
Yeah, my battery's just playing off. Sorry. I don't know why.
No worries. Do you need time? Do you want me to go to Pete and come back to you?
No, I should give me a second. And then I'll know.
Just want to do a big shout out to our performers so far. To Diamond Pavel, to Nick Byrne.
Yeah, go to Pete.
Go to Pete for a bit, yeah? Okay. All right. I'll come back to you then, Matt, in a bit, yeah?
Okay, man. Oh, hang on.
Oh, it's up to you, mate. We can go for it now, or you...
Figured out what it was.
Yeah?
Sorry, I never have to change batteries.
Okay. No worries. We won't go to Pete. We'll stick with you then. So
positive was where the negative should be, and the negative was where the positive should be.
Aha.
Right.
I'm just shouting out the performers while you're changing that over. So I'll just say to Nick Byrne, to Jen McGeachie, to FAIRHAZEL, to Sandtimer, to the amazing Jamaica, and our last two performers now. We've got Matthew One Man and then Pete Cox, and I think Jen might join in and Gate Crash Pete's set as well, which is more than welcomed. So, but anyway, this is Matthew One Man, and sit back, enjoy, and chill. And yeah, this guy's incredible. So,
thank you. What do you What do you think of that, Matt?
Man, I'm loving the new reverb.
New sound.
Yeah, you're using the mixing desk with a bit of verb on it now, which is brilliant. I love it.
Thank you very much. Is there any way you can like double team with Pete?
Double team with Pete? What do you mean?
Can you get Pete up?
I can get Pete up, yeah. Right, let's get Pete up.
Pete up, yeah. I want Pete to say some wise words.
Pete Cox, are you there, mate?
Say some wise words. Peter Cox.
I'm here. Where are you?
Pete, just say some words. Hey!
Hey, what words you want me to say?
Whatever. This was the one that I was I had some bars, but I want to hear your words on it.
I don't know what to say. You put me on a tired spot.
Oh, you got millions of words.
Do some Wim Hof, mate. You'll be fine.
Just a what? Breathe in, breathe out. Get high on your own supply. Listen to Matthew One Man and life will just float on by.
Pete, have I left you speechless?
No, I'm just.
You just okay? I've got some words.
What words you gonna say? You've got loads of words.
I've got loads of words.
I've been on walks with you.
Okay.
A lot.
I was a bit nervous, so I was like, I'll get Pete up instead. But I've got some words. Sorry, I wanted to see if we could. I wanted to see if we could do some inspiration. I can't even think of the word. Right. You choose the vibe. I say apocalyptic. You talking vibes, I'm talking cryptics. I don't want to come across as pseudo-mystic or kind of spiritualistic. I guess I'm just a modern day shaman. I couldn't have done it without your help. All you people dragging me down to hell. Stick with me and I will never leave your side. Not even after I die. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew One Man.
One man, one plan.
Do you want me to keep Pete up here, or should I put him back in the waiting room?
That was all I wanted him for, and I had to go and use some sort of unprepared words.
Well, we'll get you back out in a minute, Pete, shall we?
Sort of fake
Pete. It's cool. I had to rush from the toilet, so I really appreciated the short notice.
That's right, mate. No worries.
I only just thought about it halfway through. I do apologise, but that was fun.
Right, we'll catch you in a bit, Pete. Then, yep. Cool. Cheers,
so shall
man.
I do like one more?
Yeah, please do, man. Please do.
That was kind of half the song. Well, that was two songs, really.
Yeah.
The second half's called Modern Day Shaman.
Cool.
So, hence why I kind of wanted Pete and his sort of shamanistic vibes.
Well, maybe give him some warning next time. So.
Well, maybe some poets don't need warning.
It's true. To be fair, if this was in the actual Musical Words Club in the Hope, right, that would have happened, and it would have vibe and stuff. That I mean, you would have seen he wasn't in the toilet, and it'd have been fine, and you know, you would have felt it from the vibe of the crowd, and it would all been good. So, but still,
let me just turn that off. This new equipment is too much to deal with. Well, it's not new equipment. It's just being worked slightly differently. So I'll do another kind of new one. There is quite a lot of new ones, which is quite a beautiful part of this quarantine, as I've, become a different artist in the process of it. So I didn't get to go to all of my favorite festivals, but next year I will give them much better music than they would have had in 2021 had I have gone to festivals for another 3 months this year.
Brilliant.
So I don't know if my mum's watching. She was earlier, but this is her favorite one at the moment, which might have to come. Might be the next one I want to film.
Yes, Matthew, one man. That was amazing,
Very
dude.
much.
In fact, my mum's usually given up on the stream by now. She gets tired and wants to go to bed, but she actually just posted loving this heart.
Oh.
So, you know,
Thank you, Matt's mum.
and lots of people have obviously clocked the little reference you put in that song as well. So
Yeah. It annoys me when it doesn't, and I can't. At the moment, I think when I did it at the show, I shouted it, but it's not. Yeah. It's a cheeky little reference.
Yeah, people that got it, man. Don't worry.
A little beach pop.
Well, Matt, so much love here, and
hang on, just a second.
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah, I need to. One side of this headphone input system is not as good as using an eighth of an inch jack is not as good as using a quarter of an inch for securing it, so it keeps falling out and sort of unlodging itself, and I can hear like just a tiny bit of the audio.
Okay, no worries, man. Well, I'm just saying it's been a pleasure having you, and obviously
it's been a pleasure being here.
Yeah, just I miss seeing you in real life and hearing your music in a real space, man. So you know,
as do I. I miss the Music and Words Club in real life.
But I must admit, like you got a much more better improvement on your setup. Now you've got your leads sort of wired in, right? So
I've got this now.
So
it was actually your idea. So it does. This is the solo.
Great, cool.
So if anyone's interested in this kind of stuff, so this is stereo. The only thing is that I have to set them at just slightly different levels. So I have to do a sound check on Audacity. But then essentially I can control the input volume on there, and I can even.
Oh,
that's
don't do that.
That's
please.
if I turn like an infinite loop on. But
yeah,
I think that should stop that. Yeah, that's a direct input. But yeah, it's there's every cable has got something going through it, which is something I enjoy, is having every input with a cable inside it. It seems like a job well done.
Well,
but yeah, it does mean I can use the
mixer as effects and things like that. Got
and just tweak it instead of Soundman or something. So yeah.
Well, I'm very impressed tonight, man. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. And I apologise to Pete Cox for the impromptu.
Oh, he'll get over it, I'm sure. So
Cool. Right. Well, I'm going to enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah. Cheers, Matt. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Okay.
Bye.
All right. That was Matthew One Man. Okay, our next performer is Mr. Pete Cox. You might have saw a little glimpse of him earlier on. Let's just get him up in the chat before he gets too tired. Pete Cox, are you there, mate? Sorry for
I'm here, mate.
Keeping you awake, man. I mean,
it's all right. It's all right. I love Matthew One Man. I was just really in the middle of being in the toilet.
That's all right.
Descriptive, but
no worries, man.
But the man is like human acid. He really is.
He's pretty incredible, man. Absolutely,
incredible.
Always blows me away with what he does. So
that's what I think about you, Matt.
Oh, I'm a humble, technical person. That's all, mate. So but yeah, cheers for joining in, Pete. I appreciate your obviously support and all this sort of stuff, and your Inniverse and all the people you bring to these amazing spaces too. So.
As you, mate, as you do. It's just it's really this trippiest shit I've ever taken is this thing called life, and right now it's proper trippy, isn't it?
Oh, very trippy, man.
Oh, I'll tell you, and like if you go on social media, it's like trying to like relax in your garden, and someone with a pneumatic drill just going. You go
Yeah,
it's what it's like. It's like the builders are in and they're making a mess everywhere.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, it's all quite insane at the moment. Everything that's sort of going on, and rightfully, people need to be angry. I completely agree.
It's a healthy emotion, anger.
Exactly, man. And in your eyes, people should be offended, right? So
I totally believe they should be. There's nothing wrong with being offended.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful state of being.
But no. I was going to say to you, it was something related to, Wim Hof. Yeah, that's what I was going to. I know we shouldn't really do this online, but thanks, so man, for introducing that breathing technique to me.
Man, we say what we want.
Exactly. There's been really enjoying that, man. So I managed three rounds a day, and I did the 3 minutes in the cold shower. It was great. So
yeah, you're killing the cold showers. I love it, man. I do it every day, and I haven't stopped. And it's I highly recommend it, but I'm no preacher. Just saying my experience, it works very fucking well.
Yeah.
And I'm a lunatic. And so, anything that helps me is really good.
Great, man. Do you want to...
But also, did you get my message?
When? What message?
I sent you a message. You were looking for a venue. I got you one.
Oh, yeah, the Inniverse, the Herschel Arms. Yeah. I think that
You can use it.
I will definitely consider that, because I think that's a great venue, and it might be worth doing potentially an Inniverse with a small group of people and seeing how that works. So
yeah, they said we could use it until then. So
cool. Well, I'll have a little think, and we'll sort of we'll work that one out, man. So, but anyway, give us some poetry, dudes. So
okay, I have 2 pieces, one new, one old, and then me and Jen, who's what is it? What was the word you offended her with? She got offended, which is really good. You said she's jumping in or something on this.
Oh, I just said, was it gate crashing? That was it.
Gate crashing, yeah.
It was only a joke.
Your gates are about to get crashed. You keep talking like that. All right, okay. I got some poetry. Ready?
Yeah, go for it, man.
All right. So I walk into a room full of fear and dread, and I open my mouth, and this is what I said. My name is Peter, and I am a recovering poet, and I've been ignoring conformity my whole life. And now reality has abruptly crept up on me externally. So it's no more work on the internal needs. From this day forward, it is purely an outside job for me to be free. As this infliction has caused frictions that's ruled my diction, and I've grown wary of how scary this airy-fairy, quite contrary poetic dictionary has barely prepared me for everyday interactive festivities. I mean, do you see how easily I set speed and lose simplicity as the rhyme vine twists me with such entwined intricacy? Now, where were we? Oh, yeah, there I was, doing my best to bury my emotions, try not to gesticulate during conversations, gluing my arms and hands into my pockets for mine and your protection, when out of nowhere, a naughty little haiku caught my attention. And it was just the one. Well, 575 to be precise, and that was all it took to ignite and fire the fuses that are wired to the muses. And now this rogue poet is out and alive, and off into a micro poem I did dive, and it felt so wrong, yet oh so right. And this aroused the prow of the prows, which opened up the purge pipe valves. And before you know it, I'm snorting stanzas off of sea sirens, shooting up tums and cocktailing them with tum-tea. And it was all so much debaucherous yet innocent fun, but in the blink of the third eye, I was back to breaking form, becoming an animalistic word-eating predator, setting fire to the prey of life through a pen and paper incinerator, crawling through the fallen poets' graveyard, where their tombstones were signed from becoming a political and religious outcast, because they had the audacity of sharing their view of, because fucking brain, tired brain, Matt.
That's all right, man. I'm with you. I'm equally tired, so.
Because they had the audacity of sharing their pain of viewing life through a window full of the most blatant stains. Now, to cut a long story short, even though short stories are often long stories and long stories are often shorter than they appear, and where beginnings are endings and the endings are never quite that clear, and not to beat around the bush, but what if the bush was regal with autumn nakedness or modelling spring wear seductiveness? I mean, come on, Matt, look, I have a problem because I just can't get to the point. Because the point is attached to a followed finger that conducts a symphony of invisible harmonies that I thought everyone could understand and see, but apparently not. Apparently it's only me. And I thought everyone knew how restrictive it is breathing through similes and metaphors where sentences become dramatic statements that have to end in some sort of pause. I mean, sometimes I just want to turn it off. This view that sees more than one view, and ask just who is it who's viewing the viewer, who views all these views? And why can't I just buy the shit that they sell me on the news? I just want to nod and agree and plod on through. I just want to be ignorant. Can I please join that crew? Teach me to walk with the small talk and partake in only shallow thought. Because I just want to read something and believe it. See something and not question and explore it. And where is this what that I was trying to say before I got lost in this fog-fueled theatre known as wordplay? Oh yeah, Matt, here I am. I'm surrendering. Enough is enough. I've caught and I've called my bluff. I'm open to suggestions, so please gift me your experiences. I want to digest them, so I can fill my toolbox with a new set of weapons, as I want to be part of this show that's shown on life's television. And with that, the leader's eyes opened with delight, and he leaned right in, and I could sense comfort within his grin. So I loosened my defenses and became less tight. I was ready for him to give me the gift of his experience and his insight. And he said to me, Matt, fuck off, mate. This is a building site.
Brilliant, man. I remember when you wrote that piece and you whispered it down the phone to me. Well, not whispered it, but it wasn't like sexual or anything like that, but it was it felt very intimate. So
Oh, I'm glad it felt intimate, because I felt things I didn't know I could ever feel on that day, Matt.
It was beautiful, man. So I'm glad you shared that with me when you first wrote it, dude. So
I did. That's right.
Yeah. So if you say you got another piece, then
yeah, I'll just do old one because everyone's on about their experience. Well, I'm from the ends, man. I'm from Slough.
You are from the ends, man. I mean, I'm not from the ends, but I spent a lot of time in the ends doing youth work, and I felt like I was a part of it for a short period of time. Well, it was about 7 or 8 years, but so I get a lot of the references. So working with them sort of kids and stuff as well.
So you're cool with the Mandem?
Yeah, cool with the Mandem. It's really funny actually. I was I did some production for there was a group of young people that I produced some music for in the youth centre, and I think a few of them became quite viral amongst that community of young people, and their sort of wider community. And I bumped into them once at the train station, and they were like, with some of their mates, "Oh, this is our producer," and they looked at me and they're like, "No, that's not your producer." It's like, because I'm just so not like the characteristic which would fit into, like, you know, what would be cool to, you know, sort of put out that sort of music. But yeah, they still gave me a lot of love.
But you do wonderful work, Matt. I've seen the effect you have on people. Remember that time in Salt Hill Park when there was that event?
Yeah.
And some of the kids kicked off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everyone else, like, apart from me and you, we were standing there watching. Everyone else was trying to get involved and making it worse. And they just all looked at you, those kids, and went, "All right, Matt, you all right, mate?" Like, it was so good. It was brilliant.
Oh, they were the Roma kids. Yeah, they were. I worked with them a little bit of time in Charvey, but yeah, they're fine, but just out for causing a bit of they just want the attention, don't they? So that's what it was.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like a little park full of pirates. Yeah, it was really cool.
It was very interesting. Anyway, give us another piece, man. So let's hear the ends. Right. Let's hear the ends. So
all right, this is the ends. My loneliest friend, the ends. This is the ends where I found the most beautiful friends, the ends. So let me tell you about the ends, where a weed bin and a high-vis vest are a burglar's best friend, and where being different is an offense, so we hop a fence to shot yellow gems, and where young boys and girls fall prey to dealers who preach belief in rented eye pleasers. But addicted estates don't shed light on this case in case they get displaced and disgraced because fear rules this place. The ends are tied in knots of how not to succeed. The seeds of disunity are sown in fake communities because there's no communication between those who see, speak, and hear truthfully. This is the road, you see. And trust me, there's still a fiend alive and well inside me. I just learned how he breathes, learn how to shine our light on and accept those darker side of my shadow tendencies. Never lose the streak, for it shows a world that is unique and yet the same in any pocket of the Earth's boutique, where you get women and men on the game in the needle exchanges, chemical shame-bound chains won't let them be free again, desperately seeking a hide to get by and deny that internal cry of, why? And where man attract crap until front gets some clapped, slapped, stabbed, or if they're lucky enough, the cell door bangs. And then they're left wondering, just where is my trustworthy gang? And where babies are payments for council flats in the DSS kids having kids trap. Is it called the ends because the beginning is the end? I often ask myself, is it called the ends because the beginning is the end? Well, a few of us have proved that you can ascend and transcend this message that they send by addressing your own individual postcode. You don't have to aim low. We already broke our backs putting on fake fronts for the fear of fitting in shut. So it's time to let go. Self-reflection, progression, and protection are our ultimate weapons. So let's turn these ends into beginnings, because this is the ends. My loneliest friend, the ends. This is the ends, where I found the most beautiful friends, like Matt of the Fleming.
Thanks, Pete. And
thanks, Matt.
If you like that, you could see that on YouTube, right? We shot that one for your Innoverse.
You did. You filmed it.
It was good fun. So
I had a bit more timber on me then, didn't I?
You did, mate. Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
But yeah,
I was carrying some buffering. Yeah, like your computer doing its little buffering wheel. I had a bit of that going on around me.
No, but that the ends there was definitely something that if I was to look back on this period now, that would sort of that would be one of the things that stood out. You know, when you got these soundtracks to your life, you can sort of like go back in time and go, oh yeah, you hear a song, and the ends is definitely one that would like resonate this particular sort of like last couple of years at least. Anyway, so.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. Thanks. Yeah. It means a lot to me, man. Honestly, it really does.
Right, should we get Jen in then?
Come on, let's get the gate crasher.
Yeah. All right, let's see if she's ready. Okay. Jen.
Hello.
Hello. All right.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Well done, Matt. This has been a very wonderful affair.
Well, it's going very well, isn't it, Jen?
It is. It's going very, very well.
It's all down to you guys. So thank you for joining in and sharing your words and wisdom. It'd be a bit boring if I did 3 hours by myself. So,
I'd still watch it. I was loving watching you have the tech issues and try to deal with it. Like it was really entertaining. I know it probably was super stressful for you.
Thing is, normally that thing happens on like a daily basis, but I go through it by myself. So it's like behind the scenes, you'd be like shitting yourself, but no one notices you. But as soon as you've got a camera at your face, you have to talk, right? Otherwise it's weird. So, thanks for sticking by that. And thanks for, right. Sorry, Matthew, one man's still trying to get in the waiting room. I'm going to throw him out because he doesn't be there anymore.
Throw him out.
Get out.
Yeah. There we go. No more gate
Nice
crashes.
and tired, Jen. We nice and tired, are we?
We're all tired.
I'm sitting on the floor because my back hurts from leaning forward so much because I can't see the screen properly. So that's my age coming through right now.
Right. I mean, I think most of us, I'd definitely be sort of getting into bed, whether probably about half an hour ago or about now. So, I'm definitely like past my natural waking time and all that. So, and I'm sure you guys are too. So should we just get on with it?
Yeah.
Do it. Get on with it.
Why are we doing this, Jen? What happened? Why did you tell Matt what happened?
You know what? You tell it. I said it last night. So you.
Oh yeah, you said it last. So Jen called me to tell me that me and her fall out on things. Yeah, and I went, oh no, and then she went, we should write about something. I've got an idea. I said, what's your idea? And she said, I ain't got an idea. So what I said, I've got an idea. How about we just talk? And then we talked, didn't we?
We did talk.
And we talked and talked and talked, and it was really good talk. And then afterwards, this is the occurrence of that conversation.
Great. Well, I love the fact that you guys fall out because it means that like you have that dialogue and you're communicating, right? So if you fell out and then didn't do this, then it'd be weird. So I'm glad you guys sort of like found a sort of way to communicate and do this. So
this is the beauty, and everyone's been talking about it tonight. This is called sharing.
Yeah, love it.
This is not like on social media where you just go. Honestly, that shit winds me up because I forget people are my friends on there. Do you know what I mean? I can get this, and it's just call someone, talk to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
That fake platform.
That's why I don't really engage with it in a sort of. Well, I never write a comment on something that someone's posted up and gets angry about because I think there's no point in fueling the fire. But I'll speak to him in the street and I'll chat to him and be honest and have an open dialogue, right? So.
If you're going to tell a friend he's being a dick, tell it to his face and not just online.
Exactly.
That's right, Jen. You often tell me I'm being a dick, and that is one of the things I love you for.
I know. Yeah.
Well,
you tell me so it's okay.
I'm going to leave you guys to it and just I'm really excited to hear this. So
all right. Well, we only test ran it last night, so this is how it goes.
I don't have a title again either.
All right. Okay. So I start, didn't I? That's right.
Oh.
The filter. This filter that likes to stray from the fluid nature of conversation and steer the narrative to please the debate in a fearful mind. This filter that cherry picks and gift wraps words to cover up the honesty. This filter that I've dropped so many times and picked back up out of sheer God knows why. This filter that decides whether the writing is good enough. An editor of natural occurrence. This filter, however, has uses. It accesses and chooses the best for all. And by all, I mean me. And the easiest outcome. This filter that holds back the, are you insane? Look at what you are doing, you absolute fucking morons. Wake up. Along with, I'd do a much better job. Let me show you how wonderful I am and how inferior you are.
How inferior I am. I get it. I often wonder whether you think in rhyme too, because you speak so fast and from memory. And I'm thinking, how do you cram all of these words into a space that needs to be heard? And look at me. I guess I'm rhyming more too. Maybe it's because I want you to think I'm just like you too, but we both know that's not true. I used to think it pretty juvenile, this cadence affair. It doesn't always sound honest. I guess, like the real meaning is hiding somewhere buried in between the spaces when you breathe. Condensing emotions into a scheme like when we fight, which isn't often, but was meant to be what this is all about. It's really a battle of our shadow selves, wanting to be seen.
This filter that holds the soggy coffee grains of my thoughts and chokes on clumps of regret. I change it daily. I ask, is the filter mine or one built by the fear of response in a world so volatile? This pick up and put down of trends that separates and divides us because we didn't do the maths on ourselves. This filter that has held back passion and rage and will no longer be caged. My filter used to take me away from you, from this world of perfect people being perfectly well in their perfect lives, joining hashtag fights with perfect divine insight, pioneers of the wrong or right, although all through a portal that really is not real life. This filter that trains me to work out, meditate, be great, holding that disease at bay that stops me wondering if I was just meant to be that way, and that this life is a spell I've put myself under over a nightmare that part of me really preferred. Writing that sent me shivers. The filter falls during moments of clarity. How can the filter inhabit me? Was it society? Was it me? Is there a place to truly be free? Or is this the life for this soul to see?
If it's a spell your soul's under, then share me those words, this witchcraft of feelings, of breath between verse, because I'm down for that. I see it. I don't want you to hide it. This magic of self. Maybe we both overshine it, the gloss and the pain of self-deprecating lines, but I hear you scratching, clawing out of the rhyme. It's like I force myself to write in these tiny little verses because I think my body is too big. And what makes it worse is I write about taking up space when what I really want to do is shrink. So I hide in these lines of filter and space, these illusory deceivings, only deriving value from the meanings that I tell you. And now I'm off, the filter is down, we're condensing so much of a human experience into pixels, these little squares and a headline. And us humans, white humans, are fickle. We've already forgotten the pain and the suffering and the photo that cuts through the noise, but we're the ones making it. So why aren't we using our voice to change things? And we are, I guess. The statues aren't falling, they are being ripped from their pedestals, but it's not enough still. These little boxes of ours that we're all pointing out from, it's the work on the inside that is missing. And I know what you're about to say, and I don't agree with it all. And I can hear the fight in me beginning to surface, this filter of mine between yours and between verses.
This filter that filters the shadow of my nature through the light of exposure. This filter that's aware of my own awareness after trawling through the keep net of pain and neglect. This filter that watches everyone tell me how woke, zen, inspirational and athletic they are, ramming it down my filter till it chokes me with contempt. I love oral sex. Should I ram that down their filter? This filter I love. Then the age of inappropriate everything was born. Overblown shadow feelings from a sensitive breed of humans all sucking on the teat of victimhood, where it's easier to point and blame than take the reins and work on your part in the game. Maybe the filter has had enough and just feels to scream at the screened world to please just fuck off. You know, turning off the news has been my greatest move. For years, no outside intrusive influence. Now these so-called social platforms have become the breeding ground for hate and fear. Packaged in, look at me, I need to be here, it's friendlier and safer. Well, filter, darling, time to get out of here. Now, what was the point of this, right? The filter. This filter where I did the classic, separated myself from the filter. Another victimhood twist. It wasn't me, the filter did it. Newsflash, it was always me, always.
So the things we can see, hey? The things that we swallow, the fight between these filters, this white two-step and follow. and falling down and getting shit wrong. You're crass and you're truthful, and I'm privileged and I'm learning, but it's why I'm enjoying what I think I'll call this divining of mixing of words that don't often fit. These experiences of ours, this disagreement of you and me, I'll help keep your ego in check if you help keep mine inside me. And I know what you're already thinking. I'm not going to do that. That's not how it's going to go. But I'll leave that to the next fight of filter and shadow.
Yay, second go, Adrian. Second go. Boom.
That was so good. Seriously, I am very impressed. Like how you guys work so well together. Like
it shouldn't work. It shouldn't be a thing that works, but it does.
It shouldn't, but it did, didn't it?
Exactly. I'm surprised. I mean, if you'd have told me like back in the real world about you guys doing a sort of like a duet poet thing, I thought I'd say no. Like that's not gonna work. You know,
not a thing.
Yeah, but it did. So
it was for me. It was a very good experience to write Stream of Consciousness, and we wrote in text messages.
Wow.
For all this week.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really changed since what we've written, and that's a good thing to be able to do with someone else, is to just...
And it all came from what we said, a conversation. We have those difficult conversations.
Human conversation with someone.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very impressed, and I'm very impressed with your writing as well. Like at the moment, just that inspiration you are to sort of put all that stuff out there. So both of you. So very impressive human beings. So thank you.
Thanks. As are you, darling.
Oh, Matt, you make me feel.
We don't do feels very well.
We just dodge them and write them down.
But guys, seriously, I'm so happy with your input tonight. Yeah, I want to give you guys a hug, but I can't. So virtual one.
Zoom hugging.
Yeah,
I've got long arms, man.
You have very long arms.
They're longer than my legs, and like, they're meant to be the same length, aren't they? But they're actually longer. Weird.
So have you guys got anything else you want to say tonight? Anyone you want to sort of say hello to? Any other messages you want to portray? Blah blah blah. The platform's yours. There's still 15 people watching.
Like this, like everyone else is like, no, I've said enough. I think.
Cool.
I would say never forget your experience, and the truth has no motive. Stick with that.
Oh, good.
Wow. That's a good quote. Pete Cox. Great.
Dropping a truth bomb, truth bomb.
Well, thanks again, guys, and can't wait to see you in the flesh. And I'm sure we'll be able to do a social distance thing soon. Well, we can now. We can go meet up, and me and Pete had a walk last week. Jen, you can come join us for the walk as well. So you know.
Great, Matt. Thank you for everything you're doing, and to keep doing this.
Yes, Matt.
Yes,
you're the man.
Cheers, guys. You take care of yourselves.
Love you both.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Right, that was Pete Cox and Jen back again. And yeah, we are now at the end of the show. So thanks to all our amazing performers. Thanks to Bavel, to Nick Byrne. So I don't know why I said Brian. Apologies, Nick. Thanks to Jen McGeachie. Thanks to FAIRHAZEL. Thanks to Sandtimer. Thanks to Jamaica. Thanks to Matthew One Man. And thanks to Pete Cox. And thanks to all you wonderful people out there for sticking by us by the stream and for donating to the cause. So, and if you haven't done so yet and you want to support the Music and Words Club and the future streams, it's paypal.me/minustone. And yeah, thank you everybody for just getting involved. Keep the conversations going. Keep talking to real people. Stay off social media. Pick up the phone, dial that number, talk to someone, go meet them for a social distance walk, and yeah, let's sort of inspire each other through conversation rather than through shitty social media posts. So cheers, guys. The next session is on the, I'm going to get my phone out now, and phones are kind of useful. It's on the 25th of June. And we've got the amazing Corona Bear for that session. We've been trying to collaborate on a song recently, and she's absolutely amazing. So, yeah, I'll reveal the rest of the lineup as we go along. There's some great things happening soon with various things. I'm actually playing a festival on Sunday. It's kind of a virtual festival, which I've already recorded a song for. So, but that's from the Off the Tap with Tara Dean, who's another performer who's doing down the Music and Words Club. So do check that out on the Off the Tap Facebook page, or follow Tara Dean promotions for it as well. And take care of yourself, guys. And we'll see you next time. Okay, good night for now. Cheers.